And I believe we are live. That is the first time I have used the countdown clock in quite some time. And tighten my shirt up here a little bit, make my shirt look right. We got the that's the green sleeve. Everything's backwards on here. That's the green sleeve and the orange sleeve. The first time I have ever worn this combination. My son says it should probably be my last, but I don't know. And even wearing the matching hurricane mask tonight. I'm going to let a few more of you get in here. Hi, Scooby. You would bother me during the show. You've been being a good dog all day. Come here, you want to come up and say hi to everybody? Come here. Come here. You want to say hi? What you got? Oh, you want to play tug of war with the sock? Yeah, come on, come on. There you go. Say hi to everybody. There you go. There we go. There's Joe Bircher. There's Jamie. There's Michael Ryder in the house early. And we thought we'd let everybody see Scooby before I have to put him in a cage. We don't want to have to do that, do we? Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Oh, he loves good kisses. That's why I gotta wear my mask. You never know where Scooby's been. All right, hop down, hop down. And I don't know where you all have been. I gotta be careful. I don't want to get transmitted. King, did you get more of those orange masks? No, I saved this one and double layered it over a black one because I had to save my mask. How you doing, Timmy Lee? How's everything going? How's the world blocker? Well, I guess we're about to find out. Hang on here. I think it works. There we go. There we go. Yep. Yeah, it works. That worked out. I don't know how to turn on donations. I would think that it should be working. I didn't turn them off, so it should be working. And there we go. Yeah, we already blocked one already. We can keep that going. That's no big deal. Yeah, somebody see if they can make a donation because Michael Lurie says turn on donations. I don't turn them off. They should be working. Anna Montana. Oh my God. Don't be in here plugging Anna Montana. She's not paying for time tonight, for crying out loud. You can go to Instagram, see Anna Montana. Let's see here. Oh, I guess I can take the mask off now. I've already got my kisses from Scooby. So we'll take my mask off. I should be safe here by myself with my dogs. And let's see here. Let's see. I know Tyler. Thank you very much. Where's Pesci? Pesci is he says turn on donations, but I need somebody to make a donation to see if they're working or not. It does sound different because this mask is like 4 layers. It's a double layer orange mask with a double layer black mask. See, I could go with the black if I wanted to. You I didn't even think about reversing it. So you could do that. And yeah, Pesci is in here. Pesci is in here. And I don't know. We're just going to talk about what the hell ever. You might have to reboot his phone or tablet. Somebody try and make a $2, $5 donation or something so we can make sure this thing works. We're definitely going to try and raise a little bit of money in here tonight. We got it. There we go. Michael Ryder. So it's working. Reboot your phone. Look at that right off the bat. Working on it. Michael with a big, he just did a triple donation right off the bat. No $4.99 for Michael Ryder tonight. He's coming in the house strong. And so yeah, Pesci, it's working. Come on, Pesci. Don't be like they said, you might have to reboot your phone, tablet, PC, whatever it is you happen to be on. And I tell you what I'll do. Shall we bring Pesci in here tonight? Because I don't have a guest. And Pesci was pretty goddamn popular. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get an invite link here. And if you guys want Pesci in, here's what we're going to do. Why don't donations accept Steak and Shake? I don't know why. They should. They really should, because I would accept those. So if you guys want Pesci in here, we got $14.99 in the house already. Once we get to $50, just a measly 50, because I'm trying to raise at least 70. We've got a Filipino family who needs their electricity turned back on. Well, actually, there's about 3 or 4 families like that we're dealing with. We got a couple of them taken care of. There's another one that needs on. It's going to take, I think, $60 to get it on or to pay the bill. And then it's another $20 to pay the reconnection and late fee. Like, you couldn't afford to pay the bill. So let's slap another $20 on it that you also can't afford. So we're actually trying to raise about $80 for this family. It's a married couple and 3 kids. We have another couple that needs their electricity turned back on. Theirs is not as dramatic. Theirs is 3,000 pesos. So that's right about $60 even. And they said that does include the reconnection fee. If JJ Arwood is in the house tonight, I don't know if he is or is not, but if he is, if he can look out for trailers. Oh, here we go. Here we go. She's already thrown the names up. And this is one of the families I'm trying to help. And she's also right now in Manila taking her test. She's been there, God, a couple of weeks, I think, taking all these tests so that she can go work in Saudi Arabia and make, God, probably 3 or 4 times the money that she makes in the Philippines. So here's the shout out. So let me read. Good morning, everyone from the Philippines. Hi, sweetie. All 14 of my girlfriends call me sweetie. That might be, hell, might be 19. I think I got some new girlfriends here. I'm double checking. Hi, sweetie. Nice to catch your show. Shout out to them. Here we go. I was going to look them up on my phone, but I don't have to. Shout out Samantha. I think I saw Samantha. Samantha's a beautiful young lady. She's got a boyfriend, though, but she'd trade him in for me, surely to God. But Mango Jennifer might beat her ass, or Ice Cream Jennifer, or 5 of the ex-girlfriends. You never know. You got to be careful. So shout out to Samantha. I've seen Samantha. Mary Jo. I have not seen Mary Jo. Mary Jane. Well, that was creative. I haven't seen. It sounds like I'm doing the introduction to Petticoat Junction. And that's Uncle Joe with Mary. And they had a Mary Jo on there too. Mary Jane, the Mary Jane girls. And I'll throw your thing up here in just a second, Michael Larry. Elvie. Now that's an unusual name. I don't know that one. These are all the people that are taking tests with Jennifer. And I think all these people are going to be working abroad eventually. I don't know if they're all going to Saudi Arabia, but many of these people are taking their physical test. They're taking their aptitude test, whatever you'd call it. And all these people are going to be working abroad trying to make money, more money to help support their families. So let's start it over. Well, Jennifer, obviously, her name's up on the screen. She's representing everybody. Samantha, I have seen. Mary Jo, Mary Jane, Elvie, I like that name. Lisette, that's unusual. Don't know that one. Maria, very popular name in Italy. Cami Tulo Malo. Man, I probably mispronounced it. Let me try it again. Cami Tuleo Malo. I probably mangled that, but I'm trying. And there you go. So we got everybody in. There's the shout out. I was supposed to give them a shout out on the last show, and I didn't get it done. So we got it done tonight. So, and now we're going to get, there we go. Kenny, I'm ready for Vamp on Saturday if you need me. Okay. Well, he says he would like to have you on. So, and I believe we're doing a show Saturday night. Pesci, do you want to come in tonight for a few minutes? I've told everybody if we get to $50 in donations, we're going to bring you in as a bonus for everybody, being as they loved you so much the last time you were here. It was Bobby Joe, Betty Joe, Billy Joe, no Mary Joe. Well, the Mary Jane girls is what I was talking about. The Mary Jane girls that were with Wackanon, I think of his name. He had the song Love Gun that Flash Flash came out to. Not, I'm messing all my names up tonight. God damn it. Rick James, there we go. Rick James and the Mary Jane girls. That's what it was. Rick James. I got old Rick James. And Flash Funk came out, the first time he ever came out to Love Gun by Rick James, and it was badass, man. It was either Rep Arena or Cincinnati. I think it was Rep Arena the first night he did it. And oh shit. I guess Pesci's coming in. Turn on some power, buy some ice cream, just do something nice. Well, there you go. And we have made our first $70 for tonight. We're getting some power turned on. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Tyler, you're the best, man. So, Jennifer, I know you're up there working hard trying to get everything done for your children and for your family. Looks like we're going to be able to get your power turned back on. And I know you're watching, so we will make sure that happens by the time you get back home. The donation has come in, and you were one of the families we're trying to help. Congratulations to Jennifer, Ice Cream Jennifer. She started back to work 3 days ago, and is just so happy to be back to work. She had been out for over a year. And let's see, what's Pesci got to say here? Well, yeah, but I got to set up in the middle of giving the dogs a bath. Well, we've already got the $50 in here that I was telling everybody we needed. We actually have 50, 65. We have 70 exactly in here. So we're going to get some electricity turned back on. So that's great. Jamie S says check your PayPal. Well, I always do that when they tell me to. And there we go. There we go. Looks like there we go. We got Jamie Cinco just donated another $20 on PayPal. So we're up to 90 and we've only been on what, 13 minutes. So very good, very good. David, reach in your pocket, son. I know you got a tax check back. I know hey, we all are getting, and those of you with 8 kids, I'm so goddamn jealous because you're getting $1,400 for you, $1,400 for your wife, and $1,400 for every kid that lives in the house. I wish I was married to 6 women with 8 kids, and then I'd kick them all out. That's what I'd do. Give me 20 minutes. All right. Well, that's fine. I'll be here a little longer than that. And what a big thank you right here. And a thank you to Jamie for kicking in another 20 on top of that. We're up to $90 for the night. 140 would take care of 2 of the families. And boy, if we could take care of all 3 of them tonight, that'd be $210, but we're off to a real good start. And thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Yeah. I wish I had 6 wives and 8 kids. Hang on. Let's see. 8, 6, 14. Supposed to me to be 15. Computer. What's 1,400 times 15?
1,400 times 15 is 21,000.
If I had 6 wives, I don't think you can do that in the United States. But if I had 6 wives and 8 kids, or if I just had 14 kids and no wife, you'd get a $21,000 check. Apparently, they don't put a limit on how many kids you got. I had an aunt and uncle that had 8 kids apiece. Damn, that's some serious money. Well, yeah. I mean, if you can get married real quick before they start cutting the checks, I might have to do that. I mean, $1,400. I mean, there's got to be some women out there worth $1,400. You'd think. Ben Hameen's going to be a multi-billionaire when this goddamn. Ain't he got like 500 wives or something? I know he's lost quite a few due to COVID, though. They weren't taking COVID seriously. And Ben Hameen lost a few. Make it an even. There we go. So we've made it to 100 tonight. 140 will let us take care of 2 of the families. If we can raise 210, we can take care of all 3 families. Like I said, all the donations, most of y'all know this. I only get these paid out every 30 days. I normally get it kicked into my bank account on the 21st. So whatever comes in between the 22nd and the 21st kicks into my bank account then. But as long as I know it's coming, we go ahead and pay it out in advance. We don't make the people wait 30 days to get their shit on. And goddamn, look at Michael Ryder. Help out as many. Well, man, thank you so much. You're let's see, 14 and 19, 20, 30. So that's 30. That's 35 out of Michael Ryder already. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. The sheriff dropped off some dog food at my house on Saturday. He likes to help the puppies out. I'm sure they all greet him in the window every time he comes. It was a beautiful day today. I was out in the yard, 68 degrees out here, and had Scooby outside for a long time today. Put him on his leash and let him run in like a 52-foot circle. And he was wanting to play with everybody. And there was a sweet little girl that was delivering DoorDash across the street. And she sees Scooby. She says, "Oh, he's dragging that stick. He's so cute." And she said, "Can I come over and see him?" I said, "Sure." So she comes up. Little bitty girl. Well, I say little bitty. Real thin. Tall but thin. Her name was Katana. Chris says that her family must have been a Mortal Kombat fan. Pretty little girl. And name's Katana. And she come over and she was talking about how long she'd been working for DoorDash for about a year. She says, "I'm trying to get on at Instacart." Well, Christopher has done work with Instacart and DoorDash and a couple of others. And he said he was going to send her an invite. So she's got my number. Once she calls, we're going to make sure Chris gets her an invite because she really wanted to work for Instacart. But apparently you have to get an invite to be able to work there. But Scooby had a ball outside today, and I tidied up Christopher's porch for him. He's been working hard on the inside of his house. So am I. I've done 3 days of spring cleaning. It's about as good as this place is going to look. It's about all I can do. As y'all noticed, I took all the protective covers off my furniture. Wayfair was so nice to send me this new furniture like 4 or 5 times because I sold all the other sets for the charities we were working for. And I got so tired of having, even though those covers cost $125 to cover the chair, sofa, and the love seat, I just got sick of looking at it. I mean, so shit, during COVID, you don't leave the house that often. And I'll get to these other questions here. No, the house ain't leaking. As a matter of fact, the insurance adjusters came by yesterday, and he seemed to be a pretty nice guy. They're not guaranteeing they're going to give me anything because they think the landlord's responsible. And they turned me down 3 times, but finally I got a hold of the right person that I said, hey, this is fucking bullshit because the landlord's refusing to pay. My insurance company that I pay you fucking premiums to every week is refusing to pay. And one of you's going to goddamn pay. So they finally got a 4th person that I talked to after the first 3. One wasn't going to do shit. Second one said, oh, guaranteed, we're going to take care of everything. We'll go after all trade. We'll make them pay. Third guy said, no, it was a slow leak. We don't have to pay. I said, slow leak my ass. It wasn't slow when it came through the goddamn ceiling. So after explaining to these fucking morons how the leak was going and how it started, I think somebody finally had some rationale. And looks like Jeff Keaton sent a little bit here. And hopefully a lot of you guys are getting your tax checks back and making this a little easier on you. And there it is. Jeff Keaton with another 10. If anybody wants to keep tally, there we go. Now I can talk and hold the phone up. So if anybody wants to keep tallies on what we've raised, I think God, I forgot. Somebody add it up and tell me. I can't remember the last number I said. I think we're pretty close to 140, right? I think we're getting there. Let's see. What did Steven here say? Steven, hey, Kenny, glad to see you're on here. Looking good. Forward to the coming guest. Yeah. Pesci says he needs about 20 minutes to get set up. Pesci was a huge hit the last time. There should be 5,000 people watching this show when Pesci's on. I mean, and I've told even all my famous celebrities that come on here and do shows, Pesci's the guy. Let's see, David, the new printer I got. Well, I don't know why he's telling us about his printer, but we'll throw it up. Maybe he'll donate. Let's see. Has anyone got their refund yet? The IRS super slow this year. I do know one person who's got their refund back because he's taking me to dinner tomorrow. So for our birthday, he's taking me out for our birthday. I won't say his name unless he wants to admit it. But he got a nice refund, bigger than anything I ever got back in my 61 years. And Michael Ryder says we're up to 130. There you go. Yeah, that's right. We was at 120, but then we got the 10. So there we go. What you haven't filed? What the fuck are you waiting on, Sheriff? You independently wealthy? You don't need the money. How many kids you got? You got about 8-10 kids around here? I expect 2 bags of dog food if you got 8 kids. Bircher's got his back. That's great news. Appreciate it. Well, Bircher, then I need to see a donation from you then, don't I? I don't get a tax check back because I'm on disability, so I don't get a tax check back. And the majority of what we make here is charity, so any profits that are made ain't fucking enough to file taxes on anyway. Let's see here. So let's give another shout out to Michael, who's already donated $35 tonight. Thank you much. I'm assuming Michael's working or has got a tax check back. He's been very generous with us here recently. Thanks again to Dustin. Want to go back and rethink her. And Tyler stepping up big time. Step back with a step back 3 and hit nothing but net. Slashing 50 Canadian on us. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that. Tyler, do you know what that adds up to in American? It's probably $8. He probably just got me good. Or maybe it's more. I don't know. But if you know what 50 Canadian converts to, let me know. And then Pesci, that is Pesci, by the way. And apparently Pesci's going to be on a little bit with us for at least 30 minutes with Vampiro. That could be interesting. We'll see how that goes. And then Michael Ryder kicked off the night with a $14.99 donation. So I just wanted to throw all the donations up there again. Thank you very much. And no matter, man, how big, how small, they all help. Dustin, once again, with his $10 donation. And we had the PayPal donation. So let me go in here again and cover those. We had a $10 donation from Jeff Keaton. And we had a $20 donation from Jamie Cinco. So thank both of you very much. We don't only want to give credit to those who donate here on Super Chats, but we certainly want to give credit. $39.53 ain't bad either. I thought I had $50. God damn. All right, take 10 off the top. We're back down. We're back down to 120. Damn, they hit the Canadians hard. Holy shit! I did not know that. Fuck. Man, and if I send you all money, is it worth more? Like if I sent you 50, is it worth 60? Damn, I didn't know it was that big of a hit. What's Michael Ryder got to say here? Mike, he's earned to get his statement put up every time. The state of Michigan sent everyone that works in the restaurant industry $780 as a grant. Damn, when they do that, so the state did that. Our state ain't done dick. And that's pretty cool. And I've got a few friends here that work in the restaurant industry as well that have really taken a hit through this shit. And boy, I guarantee you, the few that I know that are in it would certainly love a $780 check. It's worth more than our dollar. Okay, all right. So Jamie trying to educate me here ain't doing good. There's Cam Moron, the illegitimate bastard son of the guy that wants to kill me and my son. You're lucky we still speak to you, but we know it ain't your fault. You know, you can't. It's like my father being the leader of the KKK. He's my biological father. I can't help who the sperm donor was. Not much I can do about that. But once we learn better, we need to evolve. Have you noticed I'm using the golden mic tonight? I haven't used the golden mic in quite some time. But we had water damage on the microphones, and I thought this one sounded a little bit better. This is the only one that didn't get water on it. So Canada will catch up. The connects well eventually. You never know. You never know. I am going to say one thing that might surprise you guys. We'll talk a little politics tonight, being as no one else is. I actually think that now was a bad time to end the Canadian pipeline. I think that was a bad decision. Now, it ain't as hurtful as the Republicans are trying to make you think it is. Actually, it only cost, I think, a total of 2,000 jobs. Only 12 of those jobs were full-time. Everything else was part-time and weather-related. So they're trying to make you think they lost millions of jobs by killing the Alaskan pipeline. But what it's done, for whatever fucking reason, because we got access to oil all over the goddamn world, but the gas prices have gone up quite a bit since we killed that deal. They were hovering around $2.29, $2.39 there for a while. Even got below $2 for a while, but shit, there was a point that oil was costing more to ship it than what people were paying for it. Oil, they had a couple of days while Trump was in office that oil was like negative $13 a barrel. It was costing people money to take the oil, which I've never seen in my lifetime that could happen. So it's bad for business, bad for the oil industry, absolutely horrible for the oil industry, but it was great for us because gas prices got down to like shit, anywhere from $1.69 to $1.99, depending where you lived. And there's Michael back in again with a $1.99 donation, so he's good for $7 so far. And yes, it is working. Yeah, well, you've made 2 donations actually. It kind of goes a little good with the headphone. I was going to wear the neon yellow. I've got like 5 shirts that go with neon yellow, but I just felt in the mood to promote my Hurricanes tonight. I don't think they're going to be getting into the NCAA tournament basketball wise. But yeah, the golden mic I have not used in a long time, but it is the only one that got no damage whatsoever. And you can talk to it on both sides. And so that way, if I were interviewing somebody, this would be the mic to use because you can put a person on that side and a person on this side, and it records it equally. No demand because of lockdowns. I don't even know what he's talking about. Well, that's not exactly it because even during lockdowns, gas prices were pretty low. I think the Canadian thing has been the bulk of it. Yeah, demand is going to go up. Obviously, it's been down, but gas prices didn't start jacking up really until the pipeline deal got killed. And like I said, it cost a couple of thousand people their job. I hate to see anybody lose their job. They're saying let's train them for the Green New Deal or whatever the hell you want to call it. Well, the Green New Deal caused this. Green New Deal caused that. Green New Deal ain't caused shit because we don't have a Green New Deal yet. It's only something that's being talked about. But yeah, gas prices have gone up without a doubt. Now, I was out in LaGrange yesterday. A friend of mine took me and Chris out for an early birthday dinner out at Cattleman's. I took a few pictures. It was good. The person that took me bought themselves a $30 steak. Chris and I were not as greedy, even though it was our birthday. I think our dinners were like $16.99 each. But here's the great news: I should have fucked them because there were 3 people that work there, and as you all know, I'm from LaGrange. but I hardly ever go there. I don't go there that often, and I really don't eat there that often. But the person that invited us lived out in the boonies somewhere and said, meet us at Cattleman's. And I said, where the fuck's Cattleman's? Chris said, LaGrange. I said, I had no clue there was a Cattleman's in LaGrange. And I've never been to Cattleman's. I said, well, that's great. Let's do that. So we go out there. Well, two of the servers and the general manager recognized me, and not so much from being from LaGrange because I was dramatically older than them, but from wrestling and podcasting. So they actually come out. They knew it was close to my birthday. They said, hey, we hear you talking about your birthday on the shows. So we're going to do something special for you for your birthday. We're going to get you free desserts. We're waiving your drinks. We're waiving your appetizers, all that shit. So basically, they waived all that shit, still gave us 50% off on the bill. And they came out and sang happy birthday to me and Chris. So, and then one of the persons did not give me a good enough, if you've ever seen History of the World, I didn't get a good enough harumph from one of the diners that was there. There was one table across from us, had to have had 15 people at it. And the girl sitting at the table didn't seem as enthusiastic as the other 14 that were singing. So I said, hey, and whatever it was to go, hey, or whatever, they give you a hey at the end. Well, hers wasn't strong enough, and I didn't like it. So I called her out. I said, sing it again. And I said, the girl over at that table better kick it in, and I better get a big hooray. And Chris said, basically, you're wanting a harumph, which if you've seen History of the World, you know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, I still got the dog that took my money. That's Tucow. But we'll get into that a little bit later. So they re-sang the song for me and Chris. Chris was pissed. He didn't want to sit there for the first one. And then the girl kicked it in, and I went, yeah, you did it right that time. So we had a good time. No lap dance, not in LaGrange. They don't give those to you out there. Well, not in public. Hey, Star Maker, do you still have the dog? Well, I'll throw that one up there, even though you haven't donated yet. Supposed to get, you donate, you get your questions up on the screen. But there's a lot of you I've slid some slack to. Yes, I do have the dog that took the credit cards and the money. He did not skip town. He's, where is he? Well, he's asleep. Him and Scooby. Let me back out of the way. He's taking up a love seat and a sofa. And there's Scooby in his favorite spot because he likes sleep in the window. So there's Scooby. He has not stolen any money from me yet, but he did about break my goddamn hand today when he saw a squirrel out in the yard, and he yanked me before I was outside and ready to get him. So he bammed my hand into the door jamb, fucked my pinky up, put a ding in the top of my hand. I dropped the leash, and I'm thinking he's gone. But the leash got hooked on the porch pole. Sheriff knows what I'm talking about. The pole, that holds the goddamn porch up. Well, the leash got hooked into it, and he couldn't go nowhere. And he thought he was in deep shit because he knew I was hurt. I was cussing him like a sailor. The walkers that were going by, not the dead ones, but the live ones, the walkers were going by. And they heard me cussing Scooby. Chris heard me cussing Scooby upstairs. Thought Scooby had gotten away, which he did. But he fucked up because the leash got hooked on the porch and he couldn't go anywhere. So by the time I got the leash unhooked from the porch, cussed him out a little bit longer. He was terrified. He was cowering down. He thought I was going to beat him with a ball bat or something, but I just called him up and I said, honey, don't do that no more. And I gave him a big hug. He was happy. I wanted to beat him, but my hand hurt too bad. So he didn't get beat today. So yeah, no lap dance, no lap dance. Who's Thursday's guest? I can't remember if I have a guest Thursday. But the Tuesday night guest, we might not have a guest Thursday because I can't remember. I'll have to check with JJR Wood, who's really been slacking the fuck off on these shows lately. But apparently his girlfriend's car got washed into the river or something, and they've been dealing with that shit. And working with his kids' schoolwork, shit like that. So he just hasn't had as much time to be on here lately. And but he says he's going to be back soon. I know he's going to be doing probably the Vampiro show. He really enjoys that. And what was I talking about? I done forgot. A guest Thursday. If we have a guest, I can't remember. But Tuesday night, we are going to have Matt Jones, the new who runs that huge ass podcast. He's affiliated with the Kentucky Wildcats, Kentucky Sports Radios, who he's tied in with. He's big on Twitter. Way more followers than I've got, even though I'm way cuter. And I thought I was way more famous, but he was on the Bill Maher show. That's more than I've done. I can't. I'd love to be on the Bill Maher show. He would love me. And by the way, fans, this is not episode 132. I forgot to add the 0. Of all the Bolin Alleys combined of all the years, we calculated them here a while back. just before we got to the 1,000 mark. And this is episode 1032, not episode 132. I asked JJ if he could edit it. He either elected not to, or he doesn't know how to, or it can't be done. One of the three. Let's see. 10 minutes. Go ahead. Send the link. I'm very slow with computers. Remember that. Well, I'm aware of that. So you're looking about 10 minutes away. I'll get you the link here in a minute. So Tuesday's guest will be Matt Jones, and he's been invited. I don't know if he can come. I did chat with Al Snow's wife quite a bit because her birthday was the same birthday as my ex-girlfriend from 7 years ago. We were together 5 years. And so that was easy to remember Al Snow's wife's birthday because they have the same day. So her and I chatted, traded some pictures and shit, and told her that we'd really love Al to do the show. Al saw some of my recent pictures. He hadn't seen me since I weighed damn near 600 pounds, so he was a little bit surprised. And plus, Al and Matt Jones were on the AEW show the other day. Apparently, they were put on camera. And they're in negotiations to possibly do something big and tying in Ohio Valley Wrestling with that. But we'll let them talk about it because nothing is official yet from what I understand. But we will let Matt Jones, and if Al Snow joins us, we'll let them talk about that too. Kenny, they found the boy who drowned 2 months ago. The poor kid was almost... Holy shit. Well, number one, I didn't hear that a kid had drowned. For whatever reason, I don't see as much local news anymore as I used to. I used to never miss the local news, but thanks to Trump for 4 years, I barely saw the local news because I wanted to see what Captain Dumbfuck did each day. So I didn't see much local news, and I still don't. I'm just not in the habit of watching the local news every night. But no, I didn't know that, but that's terrible. I'm horrible that found out. AMC stock took off today. Well, that's good news. That's good news. I'm not sure why you told me that, but it's interesting that you did. Let's see here. As a matter of fact, I haven't got an update yet. Hang on. You know what? You telling me that I gotta fucking write somebody here. I'm a little surprised I don't have that news yet. Give me a second here. You've gotten my attention. We are going to be having Morris on soon. Morris from OVW, real name Damon. We had a chat with him recently. He was in the WWE for a little while with the APA. He was the butler for Rene Dupree. He was with me on countless shows on Ohio Valley Wrestling. And we're going to be having him on real soon. I'm going to edit it and post it for you. What are you going to edit for me, JJ? What are you going to edit? The Vampiro show, we threw in that bitch slapping in it to the Vampiro posted, and we got dinged for that. We thought they took us down for the midgets, but they took us down for the Russian bitch slapping. And so we got to edit that out and redo it. Is that what you're talking about? You lost your car in the flood. Well, that's the way I understood it from JJ, is that I fixed it. Haha, it's back up. Oh, okay. So you got that show back up. Well, that's good. I don't know what you were saying you were going to edit. And what's the situation with your car? I haven't heard the update there, Scooby. I think Morris is live doing something on Instagram or something. What was I trying to look up? Oh, I gotta write somebody here real quick. Hey, partner, I need the news on AMC stock today because they're talking about it here in the chat room, and I was hoping, on the show rather, and just out of curiosity, I was wondering how that did today. All right, yeah, I hadn't got an update today, but I have been watching that. Let's see, Bill DeMott was also an NXT trainer before he got released from WWE. Okay. Yeah, he was also a trainer in Ohio Valley Wrestling for a little bit and with WWE. But he had some complaints. I think they thought he played a little rough. Working on getting a car soon. So have they called time of death on yours that got washed away? I'm assuming they did. JJ will have a van down. Well, he's got something in the river. I don't know what it was, but apparently whatever he had's in the river. Anyone know of one for around $1,800 in the Kentuckiana area? Well, there you go. If anybody's selling a car, hopefully that runs, that would be a plus. Shit, too bad you didn't ask me about the white Cadillac about a year ago. I think that's about exactly what I sold that one for. And let's see. Saw a group raising money for Appalachian flood victims, and my first thought was Kenny Bolin. Well, I don't know anybody in the Appalachians, but I know hundreds and hundreds of people in the Philippines. And people in the Appalachians can get relief, can get government funding, can get local people who have jobs and have money to help them. So the Filipino people have nobody. The government does absolutely nothing. There's people that are starving right now. One of the people has been a friend of mine for, I guess, 5 or 6 years now, says they have been on total lockdown because they had 500 people in her neighborhood test positive. They're swab testing everybody, total lockdown, won't let anybody out of their houses, can't even go buy food. And they said they ran out of food a couple of days ago, and they just been getting by on bare nothing. And can't even, even if we could send them money, they can't go get it because they won't let them out of their houses while they're on total lockdown. But apparently something, and this is just south of Manila in a town called Novatos. There's no money in this town. As a matter of fact, it's kind of built on a cemetery. A lot of it is. And it's a very, very rough area for anybody to have to live. I've known this person for about 5 or 6 years now, and they're really having a tough time. And even if we could send them some money for food, which we did a couple of weeks ago, they can't even go get it. They won't let them out of the house. And I think they said they brought them 2 kilos of rice and some canned goods a few days ago, about 4 days ago. 2 kilos of rice is 4 pounds. So that's not much. Not when you're a family of 5. But that's good. I mean, I'm glad they're getting help, and maybe not everybody can get government help or had insurance or what have you. So we're always happy when anybody gets help. But there's a reason I help the Filipino families, and because no one else is. And that's why it's very important to me to help these people as much as I can. And $70 for anybody in the Appalachian flood, they're going to laugh at you. If you hand them $70, they'd be lucky to feed their family that night. Well, $70 in the Philippines feeds a family of 5 for a month. Hell, longer than that. I mean, I have had families that I've sent 2,500 pesos to, which is about $50, tell me that it'll feed them for 4 to 5 weeks. I mean, you're not getting steak and all the luxuries, but it keeps food on the table every day. And that's what a lot of them have to do. You know, they don't have the luxuries to go out and get a lot of shit like that. The ghost of Nick Goulas' life has been going 100 miles an hour. I'm doing my best, and things. I can't handle 100 miles an hour. If it's over 8 miles an hour, it's going way too fast for me. I can't be a part of that. And so yeah, JJ's looking for a car around $1,800. There we go. Plus, JJ, I think, has got 4 illegitimate kids, couple of wives. He's going to make bank here in about a month when those checks come out. Never been so jealous in all my life. It's just little old me here. I wish I could claim Scooby and Tucow. That'd be some extra money. They're like kids. I wonder if it's too late to claim them. I got to get those dogs a social security number. That's what I got to do. All right, the donations have been really slow since the first 20 minutes. We got to pick those up a little bit. We're gonna go for 210 tonight. How long we've been on? We've been on 41 minutes. We will end this at the 1 hour mark if we don't get much more in donations. But if some donations come in, we'll hang around an extra 30 to 45 minutes. And how have you been doing? I'm doing good, Ricky, Oldham County boy. Ricky, I'm looking for your donation, my friend. PayPal, KennyBolin at MSN.com. Or you can do super chats if you're watching here on YouTube, but I see you're watching on Facebook. We did not do a show on Periscope tonight because they're going away March 31st anyway. And God, Twitch just ain't made for me, man. I mean, that's just a whole different deal over there. I don't know how Russo does it. They said in order to be successful there, you have to do multiple shows a day, every day, going live, and it's hard enough for me to get motivated to do 2 and 3 shows a week. But people have pointed out, well, Kenny, you do 1 hour shows, 2 hour shows, 3 hour shows, sometimes 4 hour shows, sometimes 8 hour shows, sometimes 13 hour shows. And they're right, I do. But I do them when I want to, when I feel like it, and normally with a cause involved of normally trying to help other people. And Twitch is pretty much about helping yourself. And I'm just not motivated enough to hop on Twitch 3, 4, 5 times a day and build an audience and work for $2 here and $5 there and $20. I just, you know, I'd rather just do my 2 or 3 shows a week here. Hopefully the fans enjoy the shows. Hopefully the fans will support them. And between what we make off Patreon and what we get paid off views of YouTube and the donations, merchandise sales, I don't really plug the store enough. Go to my Twitter page, and off to the left, you'll see the link to the merchandise store. I think that's the link to the top 10 selling items. JJ updates that about every month. And JJ can put the link to the merchandise store in here, I'm sure. And so we appreciate all the merchandise sales. You actually get your shit on time now. You don't have to wait on me to sell it. I appreciate it, Jake. Thank you much. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, I've got a Kenny Bolin, you know, the shirts I have with a picture of me on them. I've got a 3X that's never been worn, just been hanging in my closet. Didn't even cut the sleeves off from it like I've done with all the others. And my hair has a little bit of, it's got a lot of gray in it on that shirt. So I'll tell you what I'll do. Anybody that makes a $30 donation that's a size 3X, give or take, you can be a 2X or, well, probably better not be a 4. Better be a 2X or a 3X if you want to get this shirt. But anybody that would like to make a $30 donation, I will send you that shirt. And the next 3 people that will donate $30 or more will get a free signed copy of my book. And obviously that would only be for people that don't have the book, can read, or would maybe like to get it as a gift for someone else. So those of you that have done okay, gotten your tax returns back, or you know you're getting your supplemental check coming within the next 30 days or less. As a matter of fact, they said they're going to be coming out by the end of March. And we're already, what's today? March the 9th, I think. So those checks are coming. Twitch. I wish it were Trek. I'd do better on there. And so yeah, I've got 3 books I can sign. So the next 3 $30 donations, you'll get a copy of the book. First come, first serve. And I do have 1 3X shirt, the one with a picture of me that says Kenny the King Bolin or whatever it says. And I think it's kind of black and white, but the hair's gray. The crown's got some gold in it and everything. I've shown it on here before. And so there you go. So if you're a 3X, you'd like to have the shirt, donate $30. I'll ship the shirt to you. It won't charge you for shipping or anything. Just make your donation and I'll take care of you on the shirt. And 3 donations of $30 or more, each one of you will get a book. And we'll see how bad anybody wants to book and wants to donate to the cause. So there we go. So there's a way we can pick up another $120 right there. And that will take care of all 3 of those families and then some. This is a site that has all 7 storefronts on it. There you go. Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead and post that. And yeah, if the links are clickable, that's even the best. We're going to do away with the fan page because those cheap fucks, I don't think not one of the fans has ever even bought their own shirt. Which totally killed the reason we were doing it. We were doing it because you thought you might buy your own shirt or your family would. I never dreamed you would not be so little over that nobody in your family would buy your shirt if they found it online. Because normally if you're going to have shirts, you have to order 15 or 20 or 30 or however many, or they won't even bother making them for you. And so he's trying to help everybody out, and we were taking care of the top 10 donors. But I don't know if anyone bought one. JJ would know the numbers on that, I guess. Did any of the top 10 fans ever even buy their own fucking shirt? I don't think they did. So if that's the case, just do away with the fan store. That'll eliminate one of them. Any regrets having JJ on the show and Canadian Katie? I have no regrets for having JJ on. He always does a fine job. No, because Canadian Katie gave me a great chance to vent, tell that bitch what I thought about her. Haven't spoke to her since. Haven't been on their network since. I used to be a regular on there all the time. But I think I pissed all those people off. And guess what? I don't give a shit. I was in the right. She was in the wrong. Just ask me. I'll tell you. And let's see. I don't see that clickable link, JJ. Where are you posting it? That is the site that has all 7 fronts. Yeah, I don't see it, JJ. Where did you post it? I was fan number 11. Who was it? Yeah, I guess you were. Michael, you should have been in there. I blame JJ for that. He should have had you in there because you're definitely a top 10 donor. And I blame JJ for that. He was in charge of tracking the top 10 fan. And I bet you Michael Ryder would have bought his own shirt too, and might have made his family buy them. He might have sold 1,000 shirts for all we know. Don't I get asked this question every week? Let's read it again. Have you watched Dark Side of the Ring? The new season, I have not. Season is on soon, and Vice TV, they will be covering Gino Hernandez. I know so little about Gino Hernandez that I will probably not even watch that show, and I'll tell you why. I haven't watched any of the other ones. I did watch a little bit of the one I think Cornette and Russo run. People were sending me clips of it. It's not like I really sat down and watched the show. I got to send Pesci a link. Maybe that'll get some donations in. Hang on. So let me get Pesci's link. Sorry, Pesci, I forgot all about you. See what a terrible host I am. Let's see. We got to downsize the screen. That didn't work. That worked. All right. These glasses, I can't see my computer board that well. Let's go to Messenger. Now I got to find Pesci. Maybe Pesci wrote me and made it easy. He didn't. He didn't. Let's see. Tell me what you like. I'm doing my show. I told this person I was doing my live show, and they don't seem to comprehend that. So we tell them again. I got to find Pesci because I haven't written Pesci in a while. Michael Ryder came up. I'm not seeing his damn name. Maybe that worked. Is that him? Oh, there might be a reason. I don't know that we found each other on Facebook yet or not. I thought we did. So I'm going to have to maybe find him on Twitter. Yeah, I think that's what I got to do. So hang on. Let me find him on Twitter. Hopefully. About to find out. Bear with me, guys. It's live television here, or whatever the fuck you want to call this. CNN even says fuck every now and then when they play news clips. Alrighty. Let me find Pesci. There's Timmy Lee. The other Timmy Lee. I got 2 Timmy Lees that donate to the show. You believe that? Damn, I'm not seeing him. Where the hell did he go? I know he was here because available Sunday. Yeah, I'll tell you after the show. I'm looking for him. There we go. I found him. All right. Okay, Pesci, go to your Twitter account. There you go. All right. Go to your Twitter account, Pesci, and you have the join link because I can't even remember if you found me on Facebook or not. I can't remember if we accepted each other or not. So let's get rid of that. There we go. And no need for Messenger in the background. Yeah, go to Twitter. Get your ass in here. We'll see if we can have some fun with these people. There we go. Yeah, Brad is. I forgot exactly where Brad is in Colorado. I kind of forgot. He's only on your Twitter. Well, you might be right because I can't remember. The Ghost of Nick Dulas King. You should have Pesci called Biscuits and Gravy. That actually almost ain't a bad idea. God damn it, man! You got Joe Pesci in your house. How the fuck you do that, man? He's signing in. All right. Let's get him signed in. See if Pesci... We're going to see some donations if Pesci comes in here. We're trying to crack 210 tonight, remember. I think last we saw we're at 1... I think we're at 120. We thought we were at 140. We was wrong. So, yeah, maybe it's 130. I can't remember. But let's try to crack 210 tonight because I'm out of here at fucking 8:05 if we ain't got there. It's 52 minutes. We got about 13 minutes to get some more donations coming in. And if we do, I'll hang around for another 30 or 45 minutes. Do it, King. Your brother will think it's really him. He probably would. Maybe on another show when we got a little time to prepare a little bit. He's in Colorado Springs. That's a city. I've heard about that city. Let's see. So Pesci's still working. Pesci has a lot of nice equipment for a guy that doesn't know how to use any of it. So he's working on it. I know he's looking at buying a big, nice new computer and some stuff like that. He'll pop in here eventually, I guess. And so we'll get Pesci in here, and let's see some donations of some type now. Y'all ain't that damn broke. You got internet. Well, here we go. So yeah, James did put up the link to the merch store. Star Maker Bolin merch. I didn't even know that was it. There we go. I've learned something. James, if you will send that to me in my inbox on Messenger, I will send that to our fans who actually spend money. And see if they find some merchandise that they like. Even JJ's got merchandise in there. He wears it every time we go out. JJ, maybe me and you will do some dinner tomorrow. Maybe. Thinking about it. Should we do a personal appearance? Should we announce where we're going to be? See if we can get a big turnout? There wouldn't be nobody coming. They'd be scared we'd beat their ass. There won't be no Trump supporters coming. I'll promise you that. Not with the prince there. They won't do that. Home of the Who? USAF Academy. All right. That's more news. Come on, Pesci. What are you doing, Pesci? What are you doing to me? Good Lord. Now you see why I don't have him as a regular. You might have to. Oh, damn. See, all you got to do is yell at him. The screen's black, though. Is he just doing audio tonight? Is he just doing audio? There he is. Now he's on camera. Let's go widescreen. There we go.
Kenny, is my sound working?
Your sound is working. You got your headphones on. I'm not hearing an echo. I think we're good, Pesci. I think we're good.
Hold on, let me cut you off on this other device. I didn't know.
Yeah, you'll have to cut me off the other device. I don't know what happened to Miss.
Hey, Hurricanes.
Fine.
Hey.
Oh, look at us, baby. Look at us. I didn't know you was a Kane fan.
Oh, remember I was 90s big on sports, and nothing was bigger than Hurricanes in the 90s.
Shit. Well, they actually were pretty big in the early 80s, too. That was when Doug Flutie beat them with that fucking Hail Mary down in the Orange Bowl.
Kenny, I was surprised. I must say, thanks for all the support I got after that show. That's not what I was intending for.
I know you weren't. I know you weren't. That's why you got it.
And the funny part was I really was only talking about you, for that show, and it went really well. Imagine if we were talking about, something,
Yeah.
bigger. You
did talk about me. You did talk about me a lot on that show. You did. You said a lot of nice things.
And,
but your stories were great, man. My son even he died over the church story, over you playing Chuck-a-Luck.
Well, I got a sad one for you because it's kind of about this broadcasting thing, how I have all this equipment. Is that, I went to
nice equipment.
I went to the Ohio Center of Broadcasting, and like I said, it's a 9-month school. And at the very end, the sad part is when you would go on to apply for jobs, that's when I chose another type of life. And I never got back into broadcasting, meaning when I did so terrible in high school. My stepdad said, what do I want to do? And I said, I either wanted to be I really wanted to be an actor or somebody on the radio. The life that I ended up.
There are some big name actors who either barely got out of high school or didn't even finish high school. Angelina Jolie. I could be wrong. I think I heard she.
I graduated, believe it or not. Luckily.
Well, I did too, but I was going through a lot of shit with my parents going through a divorce my final couple of years of high school. Dad threatening my stepdad threatening to kill us, breaking in the back door with a shotgun, sawed-off shotgun at that, just to make sure he didn't miss. I went through a lot of shit. I got to the point where school wasn't that fucking important. I was just trying to live every day. And I remember those days, man. I know I'm 61 years old as of March 16th. I remember those days like they were fucking yesterday. Of my stepdad showing up drunk, kicking down the back door, threatening to kill everybody just because mom had left him because she caught him with my cousin's wife, and it's some fucked up shit.
You know, I had a really good stepdad. The problem was I didn't know how to be honest with the guy. I for some reason, like this guy was not, he never would touch you or, anything like that. But for some reason, I had a problem with telling him what stuff I would do. And when I was at the Ohio Center of Broadcasting, I was approached by teachers very early saying, hey, listen, you just keep your head on straight and you're going to do really well in this business. You're probably the only one in your class that we could feel, could go live. And the problem was I didn't do well with that, meaning I didn't humble myself at that school because I wasn't good at school before that. So I took it upon myself to show how much better I was than other students that were, would. And the problem was I always wanted to be an on-air talent. I never paid attention to the computer side. I had such a dumb ego at the time, and I thought everything was going well, and it was at school. But the problem was I was living another life, which was hustling drugs pretty much. And I didn't grow up like that, meaning I grew up with a good family. So when I started selling drugs, it was different because my stepdad was a guy that made you work for everything. Right. And I never had anything easy like that. And I started making money that I for a kid that was my age, 21, I never fathomed making that money. And the problem was when I graduated, this is a sad part of my story, but it's true. When I graduated from the Ohio Center of Broadcasting, and you're supposed to start going out and getting jobs. Yeah. I was working at a server at Applebee's. Yeah. And I didn't realize
my son in his teenage years was a server at Applebee's.
Yeah. And I didn't now.
And hi, Hannah Helm. Hello, Hannah. There we go.
Now I didn't have when I was selling drugs, one of my bigger addictions. I didn't really have a drug addiction.
1 second. You'll go to fucking Golden Corral when the goddamn place opens up again, you mooching motherfucker. Just quit piping about goddamn Golden Corral. It's closed. It hasn't opened up in Kentucky. I don't know it ever is. And how the fuck do I owe you anything, you goddamn mooch? Come over here, stole my goddamn milk, stole my fucking cookies. I think you took some dish detergent home with you. I got a lot of underwear missing out of my drawer. I think you stole some socks. You stole a lot of personal items. I don't owe you shit. But when Golden Corral opens back up, I'll see what I can do for it. I don't think they're going to open, though. I think you're fucked. Go ahead, Pesci. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, hey, dude, like I said, I'm on cloud nine just being here, bro. But like I said, that's what's funny about. Okay, so at the end of when I was working at Applebee's, right around the time I graduated. Now this is when I didn't realize what addiction was for other people, meaning falling off the wagon. I was always a guy that if I was drinking, I could stop drinking. If I was smoking weed or doing any kind of party drug, I could stop at my leisure. I didn't have problems. I didn't realize that people suffer.
If I'm having sex with another man's wife, I can quit that anytime. Yeah, I know where you got. I know what you're talking about.
Long story short, I sold a drug to a guy that wasn't weed.
Undercover.
And he fell off. No. It was a guy that worked at the restaurant. Now this is a guy that. And this is a guy that struggled with it. No, he struggled with addiction, meaning when people say they got clean, I didn't know what that meant at the time at 21. I didn't have drug problems, so I really wasn't around. You know what I mean? I just was a guy that had drugs.
What you're telling me is you didn't have a problem with the drugs. You love drugs. You didn't have a problem with them.
Well, my thing is, I thought I was 21 years old selling to a 38-year-old man. To me, this was a grown-up. You know what I mean? I felt more like a kid.
A lot of drug dealers do not use drugs. Were you doing both?
Well, here was the thing. When I lived with my stepdad, I was too scared to ever go home high. Meaning that's how much fear I had. Not like this guy used to be.
As well, you should have been.
You know what I mean? I felt uncomfortable.
If Christopher had come home high as a teenager, I wouldn't have been particularly thrilled with that.
Now, I always loved marijuana. Like I said, one time when you had me on the show, I'll tell you how marijuana became my guardian angel. It's a great story.
Now, you got to know, I've never smoked a thing, done a drug or anything in my life that wasn't prescribed to me by a doctor. I've never touched anything.
I was addicted.
Never been drunk a day in my life, but eggnog does make me feel good, and I get irritated a little easier. Well, I wouldn't say irritated, but a little easier to cut a promo on you if I've got some nog in me. It might make me a little less tolerant of stupidity. Let's say that.
So this guy fell off the wagon pretty much in like a week. I didn't know what the wagon was. I come into work one day everybody at the job staring at me funny. One of the persons was this dude's girlfriend. I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't know what the hell the wagon was. So that was off to a bad start at the end of Applebee's because they were thinking I'm the guy that turned this dude that was clean back into a drug addict.
That'll get you a bad rep. I agree with that.
The fact of the matter is, I didn't see this guy too much after that, but what was funny was he did fall off the wagon where he broke up with his girlfriend. A lot of bad shit happened. Now, here's the thing.
So she was upset at him for falling off the wagon. She's fucking out of here.
Here's the sad part of my story.
All right.
I already graduated from broadcasting school.
Okay.
My teacher
so you graduated there too. You graduated high school and the broadcasting school.
It's because of my stepdad. So if my stepdad ever gets to hear this, Richard Snively is the reason why I made it through school.
My glasses are starting to bother me a little bit. I'm going to take them off.
Can you hear me?
Listen to you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm going to go back with my readers. Those glasses are starting to irritate me a little bit. There we go. Go ahead.
So a long story short, I got canned. It wasn't because, you sold this guy drugs, because there was no proof, because I never did it at Applebee's. But they canned me for something very, very small. They were out to get me. People already told me that. So at the time,
why were they out to get you?
Because this guy was sober. He was sober, Kenny. And I guess when you're sober, like when a guy has been sober on alcohol and he has a problem with alcohol, you give him alcohol, and what does he do? He beats somebody up. Or he becomes that guy again. So I'm a 20, so I hear that. I get fired. At the time, I'm living with my stepdad and my mom because they were paying for me to go to school. Like the drug thing I had was I had a real bad gambling problem. I mean, it wasn't that I had a bad problem. It's just that I gambled all the time. So the day I got fired, I didn't have the balls. I'll just say the balls to tell my Dad, this is what happened, because I know he would check on me. He paid $12,000, like I said, for me to go to this broadcasting school, and I was doing really well. These people would call him and say, hey, this guy is going to be, we don't know exactly what. He's got a problem with, my problem was, if I was better than somebody at something, I would kind of rub it in. And that's because I was never good at school. So here I am at this broadcasting school, and I'm in front of all these people who want to be broadcasters, and I'm being pedestal.
In baseball, basketball, and football, I was pretty good at all three. And when you learn to do wrestling promos, you translate that into the other three sports, which don't normally come with wrestling promos. And that was my way of letting everybody how good I was at either baseball, basketball, or football. So I see where you're coming from. It was a confidence builder for you. If you couldn't excel in one thing, you're going to let them know what you did excel in. So I see.
And I was never good. My problem in school was I should have did something on a stage. My problem is I used to like
Casey Kasem, for crying out loud. Have you ever been told you sound like Casey Kasem?
Joe Pesci. That is it. Maybe once, a couple times. John Leguizamo.
Oh yeah, Little Leguizamo. I see that.
In my younger days.
I don't know where the Casey Kasem's coming from. I'm not hearing that at all.
So to finish up what I'm saying, though,
you said it.
I didn't go right home.
Hang on. Do you know what a ring rat is? I think Braden's very, very thrilled with himself that he knows what a ring rat is. Do you know what a ring rat is, Pesci?
No idea. It sounds like an old term because they haven't used one.
Well, you don't hear it much anymore because there's not as many of them. But ring rats were the girls that would go to the wrestling shows back in the late 60s, early 70s, on into the 80s, maybe the 90s.
Nothing wrong with that.
And they hung out at the wrestling shows hoping to date wrestlers at the end of the night. And my gift from back in the day, Lawler and Dundee and all those guys couldn't date everybody. So that left leftovers. And I was, about 6 foot, 210 pounds, give or take, and was friends with all the wrestlers. So I got the leftovers. And the leftovers were normally some pretty good quality stuff. So I loved going to the Louisville Gardens. I didn't give a shit to see the matches. I was going to see what girls I could pick up down there that night. So, yeah, we're glad you know what a ring rat is, Braden. Welcome to the fucking 21st century.
So listen, after I got fired.
He's saying he thinks that you could get ring rats if you hung out with us at the wrestling shows back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, that you would have picked up a lot of rats just with the voice. But that's degrading to women. We don't call them ring rats anymore. We call them young ladies.
Right. So listen, this is good because this is the sad part of the story.
All right. Okay.
So when that happened to me, like I said, I didn't have the balls to tell my stepdad. Now you got to keep in mind at this time, I'm a guy that lived a very normal life. I was a popular in all the wrong ways, meaning popular because I got trouble with teachers. I had a problem with cutting promos on teachers and making kids laugh. And to me, I was more about kids' laughs than paying attention to school at that time. So when I got fired, I basically didn't have the balls to tell my dad. I remember I ended up going to Kent College, and I literally played poker for 6 months. I didn't even reach. This is embarrassing.
Was you good at poker? Was you good at poker?
Kenny, I always said, like you, I wasn't really big on religion.
Mm-hmm.
But I said for some reason, God would have me excel in these bad things that really, really kept my addiction on bad things.
Or as you said, I'm not a man that buys into the God thing, but why would God make bad things? Why wouldn't the devil? But I don't believe in the devil either, but wouldn't it be something else making you do the bad things?
Well, that's what's kind of what I'm getting into. So I didn't even, when I say I didn't even tell my dad about this, I was so ashamed. I didn't even call him like an idiot after he just paid for me to go to school, after I did well at the school. You know what I mean? I did bullshit there. I was top notch. The problem was I had an addiction to gambling. I was selling drugs. My drug addiction I didn't really have because I was afraid to go home and my dad would catch me high. He was doing too much for me. I did respect him. I got blinded in a life that I was never in. I was becoming popular in different ways that I never was. I wasn't, the kid with the loud voice or doing this. I was, somebody making money. And then my thing was eventually when I left the house, it's like, that was the last, I'm sitting to you right now, 38 years old. I might be part owner.
When's your birthday?
2/21/83.
So February 21st, you turn 38. Okay. So you're brand new to the age of 38.
I'm brand new to the age 38, but the last physical government, now I'm like I said, I'm a part of a car lot now, but the last government job I had was this Applebee's job. So when I went on this gambling tirade, I remember I was at Kent for 3 months and I didn't even go to Kent. You know what I mean? This was just like, and you're talking to girls.
Kent State, right?
And I was becoming popular with
For Dead in Ohio, right? You know the song?
Yeah. No, actually I don't. But
it was back when there were some protesters there, and 4 of the kids got shot and killed, and they wrote a song called "For Dead in Ohio." Somebody on here probably knows who wrote the song. One of those old I think it was Crosby, Stills, and Nash, but I could be wrong on that. But if someone knows who did the song "For Dead in Ohio," that was written about Kent State University because they had 4 protesters there, and I think the cops killed the protesters, is what happened. And now sheriff in here probably won't want to own up to that, but I don't think he was there when that happened.
No. That was always a story they talked about at the Kent shootings you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
We just call them the Kent shootings.
As a matter of fact, I was a kid when that happened. For Dead in Ohio. I haven't heard that song in a long time, but it seems like it's Crosby, Stills, Nash, but I could be wrong.
I never went back. I didn't call my dad until many years later, after I went to prison.
Sean Wise, by the way, shares your birthday, apparently. Says he feels like he shares his birthday with a celebrity. There you go. Hey, we all got to be born someday, right? There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, I got the king of Akron behind me right there. There's old Bron.
I see that.
I don't agree with a lot of the shit he's doing, but whatever. You know what I mean?
What's he doing that you don't agree with?
Yeah, see, this is one of those things, Kenny. See, there's things I have a lot to say on if you bring up the right topic. Here's my thing with LeBron. And when I say I love LeBron, when LeBron announced the first time he was leaving the Cavs, I was in prison. I remember the bunk I was sitting on. I remember how frustrated I was. I remember at that tough point I said, I've been left by many girls and had many girlfriends and all that. But LeBron leaving rubbed me more wrong than any girl could have.
Really?
If a girl,
now, why would that be? He has every right to leave if he wants to.
Well, it was that, Kenny. I was young. Do you understand? He has a tattoo that said "Chosen One."
Yeah.
When he was 16 years old, he used to come play our high school.
Well, he also calls himself king, which I got a bit of a problem with.
Well, my thing is he was always meant to be that, and it came from being the king of Akron. You know what I mean?
Well, he can have king of Akron. As a matter of fact,
like you said, king of managers, king of Akron.
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, just so you know, I just booked our sales reps to do a bride and groom show in Akron this weekend. They're going to be up there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So here's my thing with LeBron.
You didn't even put over that I've got representatives coming to your hometown.
What do you mean?
It's all about you. All about you and your bunk and King LeBron leaving Cleveland. There you go. Go ahead.
Well, no, you asked me a question. I was trying to answer your question.
And then I interrupted you and told you something else, which is what I do. You know that by now. You know you're not going to get the story off without an interruption, so I can piss the fans off that are getting mad that I keep interrupting you.
I didn't hear the representative thing, so I got to be honest, King. I usually hear everything you say. I didn't hear that.
I have a side job, and I booked our representatives to do a bride and groom show in not Cleveland. I booked there too, but this week I happen to have them coming to Akron, and they're going to be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I just booked it today, as a matter of fact. There you go.
So anyway, here's my thing with LeBron.
Now, whoa, hold on here. What the fuck?
What's going on?
Did you see that? Who the fuck's Jay Butler think he is? No fucking profile picture or anything. Telling me not to talk over the guest. Number one, I invited him here. He came in here because a certain amount of money was donated. This is my fucking show. I interrupt whoever the fuck I want. Don't you dare tell me not to interrupt my guest. He knows he's going to get interrupted. That's why he's here. What you got?
You remember that, Kenny?
I do remember that. I certainly do. They killed Kenny. They certainly.
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, your boy Corny likes South Park.
No. I might block Jay. You don't tell me not to interrupt my guest. It's what I do. I've been doing it for 18 fucking years. Don't tell me not to interrupt my guest.
You can't block viewers, though. They're much needed in this stream.
No, fuck them. I block a lot of viewers every week. They mean nothing to me. They mean nothing. You come in here trying to talk smack on me, you're barking up the wrong tree, motherfucker.
Oh, I don't see the
tell me not to interrupt my guy. He won't even get the rest of this story off if you start fucking with me. Don't do that. Scooby might interrupt me, but no one else. So go ahead. Go ahead. Don't let me interrupt you, Pesci.
Okay. Now,
that was bold of Jay. That was bold of him, but also stupid. So don't fucking do that again. I'm in a mood tonight. Go ahead, Pesci. I'm overtime right now anyway, because I told everybody if they didn't donate anymore, I was going to end this show 10 minutes ago. Pesci's in here. No one's donated. Pesci's
you know what, Pet? No. You did. I think they did good on donations in the beginning.
Well, they did. But you know me.
They did really well.
Happy. You know me. I'm never happy.
But I got to be honest. I got to tip my
140. I wanted 210.
I got to tip my hat to your guest. I thought they came in swinging.
They did a good job. They did what was necessary to get you in here tonight. One guy did that though in fucking Canada. Yeah. So go ahead.
All right,
but
so
remember,
listen.
if I want to interrupt you, I'm going to interrupt you. Jay ain't running his fucking show. I am.
One day I'll do this.
Jay can go listen to a recorded version of the fucking Cornette show if he wants to. All right.
Now, I have pictures in my house. I don't even have a pic. Now, this is kind of a shame, but I don't have any pictures of my family hanging up. I got pictures of LeBron, Magic, Larry Bird hanging in my house, different sports. Athletes.
I do have a picture of my mother, my son, my daughter-in-law, my ex-wife that was hanging up in the kitchen, but it fell down and I haven't hung it back up yet. But that's the only picture of anyone in my family I have hanging up. So go ahead.
And with
CJ, I interrupted him again. What do you think of that?
When the social justice thing started to pick up a lot of, momentum. Now, I understand completely where LeBron was coming from with his, being upset with the police and stuff.
Yeah.
The problem was the way he was displaying it was in a way where your mate, not a guy like me, didn't care. Like I said, they could pull whatever. It did bother me what was on the court or whatever. But they all on September 9/11, which is a big day for this country, usually to support the military. The whole NBA league played a basketball game, and they actually knelt on 9/11. And my thing is, LeBron always talks about unity. LeBron, if you're going to talk about unity, I understand kneeling, the whole Trump thing. I understand he said some shit that was unacceptable. I get all that.
All right.
But LeBron, you're supposed to be bringing us together. Sports has always been a unity, I thought. You know what I mean? Like fans getting into it, kind of the player, just.
Right.
But I think the NBA said, look, or at least LeBron in his speeches started making speeches that are going to make fans divide. And here's the thing. The fans that he was dividing most, the ratings will show you this. I'm not just being a hater because I watch basketball.
Right.
He's rubbing off the crowd that puts the most money from American standpoint into the business.
Okay.
And he just kept making comment after comment that was very one-sided.
Give me 3 examples of comments that you didn't like that you found dividing.
I will, and I only know this because other African Americans did not like it. He said, I feel like I'm being hunted on a daily basis as an African American. Now, this is LeBron, white gardener, white chef. He was a guy that the cops escorted him to the Jay-Z concert because he has on Twitter him getting thanks to the police that got me to the Jay-Z concert in New York where there's traffic on traffic on traffic. So that was one of the comments he made, being hunted. And there was a lot of African Americans.
Yeah, I don't know. And I'm just hearing this for the first time. I'm aware of a little bit of this, but I will have to be the first to think that LeBron James, since he was in high school being recruited and going to know he's going to be a multi-millionaire, I don't know.
He knew this from.
I don't know if LeBron was ever hunted. And
hunted. He had a Hummer at 14, and they said if he wanted to go to college, he couldn't go to college because they thought somebody bought him the Hummer, which they did. They knew at 14. He did an article that said "Chosen One," Kenny. Yeah, that's why I was mad he left. Chosen One to bring Cleveland the ring, which he did. But my thing is, you want to be compared to the greats of the greats. Like Magic Johnson won a ring his rookie year.
Yeah, I think I started hearing about LeBron in the 9th or 10th grade, and it was evident he was going to be. I mean, he looked 35 his senior year. So, I don't know if he gets to say, "I feel like I'm hunted every day." Maybe people in his family can say that,
right? And listen,
but he doesn't really get to say that.
And listen,
I'm more fucking hunted than he is. But go ahead.
We understand. I understand being a guy. See, I always told you, me being a guy that hustled, I couldn't afford to be racist. I needed to be me going to prison twice. I couldn't afford to be racist.
Yeah, but racists probably don't last real long in prison, would be my guess.
Well,
or at least the ones that are vocal about it.
But my thing is, I was never hiding somebody I wasn't. I'm a guy that believes anybody could be good. You know what I mean? Yeah. I had a lot of minority friends growing up, and I just always said, they would always bring up the police. The police, unfortunately, in this country are always going to be scared of minorities. It's just this. It's a thing. You know what I mean? The white cops.
It does seem to be that way, that the minorities do. And I'm not going to say every cop does it. And I hope the sheriff in here is not one of them. I don't think he is.
No.
But there are a lot of cops who do seem to be scared of anything that doesn't look like them. And that's the thing.
Here's the other kicker.
All right.
We all know from just watching, the Floyd death was unacceptable. There is no excuse.
Yeah.
So I remember when I saw that, I was like, people are going to backlash against that.
Yeah. When you're yelling, you can't breathe, whether you think he's faking or not, you get the fuck off his neck and make sure he can goddamn breathe. So whether you think he's working you or not, and obviously he wasn't, you get the fuck off his goddamn neck.
Right. You don't do that. Okay. No. That's what I said. Those police, that was very amateur. Now, what happens up here is minorities will get shot. Some of them were so young, like they would pull out a gun and it would be a fake gun. I always said that's the one problem with the cops. Maybe before they shoot or go into a situation, I understand that they have a right that when they think they're about to die, they could defend themselves or whatever.
Of course.
Some of these situations, there's 14-year-olds getting shot with guns.
I mean, me and my son have had our life threatened recently, and I assure you, we will go down fighting if it comes to that. Exactly, yeah.
Now, I'm a guy that has a Blue Lives sticker on my plate because I've had people in my family saved by police officers.
Well, of course.
You know what I mean? And I'm not a guy that's on the right side of the law.
I've been friends with police officers my whole life. I used to play Frisbee with them out on the Main Street. But back in my younger years, there was a cop that had it in for me and actually came and arrested me because he thought I was in on a crime that I had absolutely fucking nothing to do with. But because the guy that got caught said that he got the idea from me, I actually got arrested and put in jail for 11 hours until all the other cops said, "Are you fucking out of your goddamn mind?" So he basically got ran out of LaGrange and had to go to Florida because he fucked with me so goddamn bad and just had this hard on for me. Claimed I had stolen merchandise. I said, "Well, fuck, go in my house, and if you can find any, fucking arrest me." Well, he wouldn't even go in. They just fucking arrested me for 11 hours.
Now,
And because the guy that got caught, so I got the idea from Kenny. And I'll tell you what that idea was. Once me and a friend of mine who watches a lot of these shows, we said, man, Kroger's got to do something. All somebody's got to do is fucking hide in the back and wait for Kroger to close and fucking steal any goddamn thing they want. Well, we didn't know that one of the guys that worked there was going to fucking do it. So he's heard that and said, yeah, goddamn, I guess Kenny's right. So yeah, I guess I gave him the idea. We didn't think he was fucking stupid enough to do it. And another guy got arrested because he was standing there involved in the conversation. So yeah, man, he was just in on the conversation. So they arrested both of us based on the guy saying, well, they said, we know you weren't smart enough to pull this off. Who told you how to do this? Oh, well, and Bolin wasn't my last name back then. So I actually got arrested for 11 hours until all the other cops said, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" And so eventually he finally got ran out of LaGrange because he wasn't only a dick to me, he was a dick to everybody. Yeah, he was a white cop. If I had to guess if there was a white supremacist in LaGrange, this guy would have been it. His first name was Willie. So anybody watching the show that remembers the 70s and 80s very well will remember this cop. But he ain't there no more.
So with LeBron, here's another thing that was kind of like weird. So after the George Floyd thing, which I understood, problem was there was some shootings that went public. Now, the guy, before they did the homework, these teams started wearing, I forget the guy's name. I don't even know why. They started wearing his, Drew Brees wore his name on the helmet. So here's the weird thing. They started being like supporting a guy. Then after information find out this guy was being looked for, he had kidnapping. He had people in the back of the car, kids he was trying to kidnap.
Yeah.
He tried to put the police in a headlock. They got a video. It looked like this guy had him in a Batista headlock, the police.
All right.
Now this guy got shot 8 times, but all they brought up was the guy being shot unarmed
eight
and
times.
from behind. Yeah. Now,
yeah.
This was big. I'm surprised. Why can't I think it's after Floyd, the other guy?
It was after Floyd.
This guy turned out to be a rapist. This is you, Kenny. This is all over. You can look this up.
Okay.
Drew Brees had his sticker with the name on the helmet. But here's the weird part. When they found out what this guy did and he was a criminal, you're going to have Drew Brees' kids coming up to him like, hey, Dad, why do you got a rapist? So then all of a sudden the stickers and the support for this guy was gone. They didn't
gone away.
They didn't even bring his name up. That's why ESPN, you only hear one side. I'll watch both sides just so I get a point. That's why I never, I know you hate Don Trump and everything. I never let that shit bother me because I always knew that guy was a shit talker in the 1980s, and he's a WWE Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? He won a popularity contest, and then he fucking started cutting promos, and people end up liking heel promos, and they start following him. And LeBron, the thing is...
But see, I have met him 3 times, and I know a shitload of people that know him way better than I do. And I know his history. I know what he's done.
I didn't say he was good.
I know he molested 12 kids. And once you've molested 12 kids, and there's court documents that prove it,
I never heard of that either. That was...
Well, I not only heard of it, I saw the goddamn documents. Maya's got them on her phone because Anonymous released them on Twitter here several months ago. And they got taken down pretty quick. And the reason being, not because it wasn't true, it's because they were supposed to be court-sealed documents that Fred Trump paid to be, the agreement was, and the payoffs of all these families is that the documents remain sealed. Well, they didn't. Somebody got a hold of them and posted them. And there were 12 kids, male and female alike, that he molested back in the 90s. And of course, when you hang out with fucking that guy that died in prison, Jeffrey Epstein, I've always said birds of a feather hang together. And when you're with him that much, dancing with him at parties, inviting him to Mar-a-Lago, all kinds of video of them together. Some shit don't add up. Hang on, I'm not done. What about Bill Clinton, man? What about Bill Clinton? Well, if Bill Clinton was with him, fucking get him too. I don't give a fuck who it was. If you was with Epstein, if you were going to that island, if you were fucking little kids, then all of you fucking go to jail. I don't give a fuck if you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever the fuck you are. And the guy in Wisconsin. Okay, all right. I understand, but no, and I heard you were a Trump supporter, and then there's probably a lot of shit you don't know or don't believe. I give everybody a chance. I don't let anybody promote his shit on my shows. If you want to promote,
who's a supporter?
I heard you was. They said that you had stuff on your Facebook page.
No, yeah, I'll explain what that is. Okay.
Okay.
My barber who cuts my hair is a black dude, and he only watches the one side of the news. Gotcha. And I have a picture of Lil Wayne with Donald Trump.
As everybody knows here, I watch every fucking thing. And Reed would get spit in front of me, but go ahead.
I have a picture of Lil Wayne with Donald Trump.
Okay.
I put that up there for his eyes. Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
Lil Wayne once said, "I'm a man that doesn't see race. I was in a shootout when I was 9 years old, laying on the ground dying. A black police officer stepped over my body. A white cop saved him. And a white cop saved him." So yeah, very familiar.
I've heard that.
Lil Wayne made some speeches about Donald Trump and Young Jeezy, two rappers, two very guys that made their street living before they were ever in rap. And if you listen to the stuff they say and the stuff Kanye says, it's pretty much what I think. Like, hey man, they shouldn't have voted for this guy, and he won. He won a popularity contest in 2016. Is a born billionaire going to make some comments about minorities that are questionable? Probably. He's never been around social groups like that. Right. His dad, being a billionaire, probably put him in the groups he grew up with. Yeah. So is he a good guy? I didn't say that. Yeah. Now, for me to be a supporter, that's unfair. I've never voted.
Yeah. Now, well, you can be a supporter without voting. I mean, I've promoted a lot of people on here that I didn't vote for.
But all I did was put up a couple pictures. I said if I looked at it from an outside looking in, like I put the bullshit to a side because I don't know about politics. Right. I said Sleepy Joe at times didn't look like he knew who he was talking to when he was cutting his promos coming in.
But I can also run you a 6-hour highlight reel that makes Trump look even worse than him.
Worse, without a doubt.
They're both old white fucks that probably shouldn't be president, to be honest with you.
Right. And Biden, like you said, did he pick Kamala? I would have been cool with Kamala because listen, at least she could speak.
That was my number one pick.
I was with Joe Biden, put Trump to the side. One of the first things he said in the debate, which I thought he did a good job. That was one of the only politic things I watched ever.
Right.
It was only because everybody was watching it. Sports made you be political this year. So I said, how can I be a Trump supporter? 2016
from the days of Colin Kaepernick, or I'm probably saying his name wrong. Colin Kaepernick. I'm probably saying the name wrong, but you know what I'm talking about, the 49er.
Yeah, the guy the first kneeler. Kaepernick. Now, when Trump won in 2016, that's when the Cavs won the ring. That was my only concern. I remember when I found out Donald Trump won, I go, wow, it's now like the NBA All-Star game where a guy could just win off popularity, meaning they were letting the phones vote on an All-Star game, and they were voting for players that weren't All-Stars. Like a guy that never –
It happens.
So Trump, I think, won just, a popularity contest. But for me to be a supporter, nah, I might have put some post up to maybe rub some people wrong in my circle.
Right.
But I'm a supporter of Kenny Bolin. I'm not a supporter of Donald Trump. Since Donald Trump has left the White House, I haven't watched no video on him. You know what I mean? I just said for Biden to blame everything.
Well, as I told the person who told me that, he's a king. Did you know he's a Trump supporter? I said, well, no, I didn't know that. And I said, it doesn't matter. I said he didn't promote him on my show, and what he does on his own Facebook page is his business. I don't give a fuck what he does.
I knew people would look at that and point to Trump support. No,
Yeah,
I've said some.
But it wouldn't matter if you were, as long as you don't promote him here, and as long as you and I are cool, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
the sheriff who claims he's a registered Democrat, I'd love to see that card.
the only thing I'm guilty of.
I think he also claims he didn't vote for Trump. I find difficult to believe. And but when people storm the White House and his supporters are beating cops with fucking flag sticks and flagpoles, and then cops still support him, even though 140 cops got hurt bad that day, and 2 of them committed suicide, and another one got killed. I don't know how.
No excuse for that.
I don't know how cops can fucking support him. I don't.
That was stupid. I always said, Trump, you dug your own grave with that. But I never once in my life said, oh man, this. I just said, I didn't like how Joe Biden said he blamed at the time. He blamed every COVID death on Trump. I'm like, you could blame deaths on him, but you're going to blame every death on him?
Well, here's the thing. The reason he gets blamed for all of them is because, and they've been running the highlight reels today because we're just passing the 1 year anniversary. The 1 year anniversary getting shut down was my fucking birthday. That's when I lost my job. Lots of people lost their job. And so we got shut down basically as a country on March the 16th. Almost a year ago. So they've been running highlight reels of Trump denying the virus. And that was, so he basically ignored it for 70 fucking days. And unlike Trump, the South Korea got the coronavirus the same day we did. We both had our first case on the same day. Well, South Korea got their shit together immediately. They didn't fucking ignore it. They immediately jumped all over it. And they've had a tiny fraction of the fucking issues that we've had. But then again, we have the number one death rate, number one infections of the world. And it shouldn't be. We're the world's fucking rich. We're the richest country in the fucking world. We have some of the smartest people in the world. We should have been all over this. But when you got the president who's trying to stay in power so he can stay out of jail, that's the fucking problem. He knew, he admitted to Bob Woodward, he knew how deadly it was. But I didn't want to alarm everybody. Well, if he alarms everybody, and then he ignored it for fucking 70 days, of course they're going to vote him out. And that's got a lot to do with why he didn't get in now. Now that Biden's in, and now that they're getting the fucking vaccines out, and now that they're making more vaccines, and he's not denying it, and he's not coming out telling the people what they want to hear every day, things are gradually getting better. They're still bad, don't get me wrong. We still had 2,000 people die yesterday. We still have way too many infected. But at least we're heading in the right direction. But the thing we got to remember, we're still at where we were for the summer peak last year. And summer peak was bad. You couldn't fucking go to a baseball game. You couldn't celebrate the 4th of July. So just because things are better now, this ain't the time to fucking burn the mask like some of these fucking Republican governors are doing down in Texas and Mississippi and Idaho and various fucking places. It ain't time to burn the mask. It's time to get fucking serious for 6 to 8 weeks and end this shit, or at least in this country. But until we around the world get this shit together, until we all get on the same page, we're going to have to worry about it.
Oh, I just remembered.
It's always going to be a fucking problem.
It
might not be as bad as it is now. And of course, the vaccination, because people get the flu every year. But people ain't dying from the fucking flu every year. Yeah, they do, but not 515,000 of them.
Hey, this is backtracking, but this goes with the story.
You're allowed to backtrack on this show.
This is something you should know, though. Another thing that rubbed LeBron the wrong way is, hey.
Hi, Jenica Jean. We've got 3 or 4 people watching from the Philippines in here today.
Shout out to Philly.
I think this is a record for our most Filipino viewers. So hello, Jenica Jean. Thank you for watching. We appreciate that. Very sweet young lady. She's been dealing with some things with her mom. I think her mom's been in the hospital recently. They got hit with a monster fucking hospital bill a couple of days ago that I'm aware of. Probably more than we can take care of in here, but we'll address that on an upcoming show. But that's another young lady that needs some help too. She's been in the hospital for about the last 2 weeks with her mom.
Not Kenny.
We appreciate her watching though. Give a shout out. Say hi, Jenica Jean from Joe Pesci for crying.
Hi, Jenica Jean.
Jenica Jean. There you go.
But sorry,
they wrote a song about it. Jenica Jean. That's my love. Jenica Jean. Nah, that was Billie Jean. But hey, I'm close.
All right, so Ken, I love you, man. You're the best. But listen, look with LeBron. This is another thing. This is what drove the viewers off. And Mark Cuban, your boy, he's a lefty, so he's He says he doesn't care about he says we don't want the fans we drove off. I don't know how much that is.
No, China. Repeat that. No, who's a lefty and who said what now? Repeat. I missed part of that.
Now, when I say lefty, I'm not being mean. I'm just saying that's what they call. I guess you could say.
Well, I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed.
So am I.
I would say that politically, I would say that I lean left. I lean left, but I've been an independent my whole life. There's been a lot of Republicans I would have voted for. There's been some Democrats I wouldn't vote for. Cuomo's in deep shit right now up in New York, but we're not here.
I don't even know who Cuomo is.
Cuomo, well, I do. We'll talk about that on another show. And,
but so listen, so China has shit going on out there. You know what about China? Concentration camps and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah. A lot of that on the news today. Yeah. And they wanted to put an end to a race. There was one of the Muslim races that I think I heard today they were trying to put an end to, and it got revealed today that they were just trying to put an end to these fucking people. They didn't agree.
Yeah, police brutality doesn't exist in China. That's called welcome to China. So in China, there's bad shit going on. Concentration camps. You know, they're a replicate. They rip and replicate. I buy a lot of shit from. Now, I love China. Don't get me wrong. But LeBron will be asked questions about China, the bad parts. Now, if you're going to bash America, why can't you bash China?
Well, because they're making a shitload of money out of China. That's
exactly. But isn't that small hypocritical?
It absolutely is. If you're going to point out the bad of America or the bad of Canada or the bad of Mexico, and it's like Trump trying to label every Mexican as a rapist, a thief, he
didn't Listen, he didn't label everyone. He did say that is a hustle out there. Me being a drug dealer, I understand that in Mexico, the cartel owns shit. So you're going to have, like you said, the good workers, the 15 to 20 workers. But cartel.
Explain to me how the people wouldn't think that he was labeling them that way, because let me tell you what he did say, and then you tell me what you think he said. He said, they're not sending us their best. Well, number one, they're not sending us anybody. They're not loading up people on a bus and say, here, take these. They're not sending us anybody.
That was an ignorant statement.
Hang on. Don't interrupt me, son. Don't interrupt me. They're coming here of their own accord, and let's say 98, 99% of them just want a fucking better life. They don't want fucking gangs raping their daughters. They don't want to get murdered in the fucking streets. And many of them are not coming from Mexico. They're coming from South America, Honduras, various other countries from there. And yeah, there's some bad people that come across. We got a lot of fucking bad people here. And I don't see them trying to deport these people. I don't see them trying to deport those and kick them out of the country because they're rapists and drug dealers and all that. And if you're trying to shut down drugs, there's not that many drugs coming across a fucking backpack going over a goddamn wall. They're a little more organized than that. Most of them come either through under the tunnels or they fly to Canada and either walk or fucking drive across. There's more drugs coming in from Canada these days than from fucking Mexico. And you can ask anybody involved in North Border law enforcement and they'll fucking tell you that. Anybody involved in the government that does any research will tell you that. But you don't see us building a wall on Canada. You know why? Because those people are mostly white. We couldn't possibly build a wall to keep the white people out. So they're not that fucking concerned about the drugs. If they were, they would be trying to build a goddamn wall around Canada too.
No, I agree.
They're not concerned about the fucking drugs. They don't want the dark people fucking coming.
What I was saying was that is just something that they do, though. The drugs over the border in Mexico.
Honey, I'll fight with everybody, honey. It's what my show is. I fight with everybody. But no, me and Pesci aren't fighting. We're just having a debate.
Yeah. No. I agree with Ken. Good. Now, here was my thing is.
Go ahead. I'm anxious to hear your side.
Yeah, no, the people that were coming over the border. Now, is there a way to legally do that?
Is there a way to legally come across the border? Do you mean from Canada or from Mexico?
I'm saying could I just go to Canada and be a Canadian? I thought there was a list.
Well, no, it's not easy to get into Canada either, but it's easier probably to get into there. I mean, I know Filipinos that can get into Canada far easier than they can get into here. I have people writing me all the time. Well, I'm going to my uncle's in Canada. I'm going to here in Canada. There's Filipino bars. When they were trying to book me on a show up there recently, and we were going to do one of the appearances in a Filipino restaurant. So yeah, there are some things that makes it easier to get in there. And
I thought his thing was.
But go ahead.
I thought and this is a good question because I'm asking you. I thought his thing was he wanted them to become citizens legally, not just, running across.
You've got to give them a format to be able to do it easily. That's why so many of them sneak across. That's why so many of them come across the Rio Grande. You got this fucking bridge over there. I forget what city, but they're lined up to the fucking gills and they're taking 12 people a day. You know goddamn well that they can take more people than that. They've had, they were bitching about how many's coming across the border now. Well, there's 400 kids down there that came across by themselves. Yeah, they're fucking trying to keep from being fucking murdered, raped, and molested by the people in their own country. They're here seeking asylum. That's why they're fucking coming. Do you think if the kid had it made where he was at? And the other thing that pisses me off, and these fucking people in this room right now, and there's some of them, are here because they were fucking lucky enough to be born here. Your parents were lucky enough to be born here. If you were born in the fucking country where you're getting raped, molested, shot, and killed, you'd be fucking trying to get in here too and doing your goddamn best to do it. And I have a heart. Joe Biden's got a fucking heart. Many of the Democrats have a heart, and they want to help these people. I want to help these people. And I'm not looking to fucking kick them back out just because that's where they came from and assume they're a rapist, a murderer, a fucking in whatever those gangs are. Shit, I don't even know the name of the goddamn gangs. I know Trump knows them all. But no, man, we're here because we're fucking lucky enough that we were born here, or our parents were born here, or our parents were born here. We're here because of dumb fucking luck. And those people weren't so goddamn lucky. The people in the Philippines weren't so goddamn lucky. The so clear voices. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, the voices are very clear. Pesci's very clear. And we have good microphones, so that helps. And I'm glad you're enjoying the show. I think this is your first time watching the show. So
gold microphone.
Yeah, we both have the gold microphones tonight, don't we? There you go. Look at that. There you go. I don't have my pop filter on mine tonight, though. I just wanted to show off the gold microphone. So I'm glad she's enjoying the show. No, we're debating. We're not fighting. Pesci and I are great friends as of 2 weeks. Something like that.
I said there's nothing Kenny could say that would bother me. There's people that don't like Donald Trump, and I get it. I just said
Scooby's sleeping. I think that's Pesci's dog barking. That's your dog, right?
That's Pablo.
Yeah, Pesci's dog's barking. My two dogs are sleeping, so they're being good for a change, which is not a normal thing. Let's see. We're going to get back on it. Let's read this comment, and we'll pick back up on this. People ain't donating worth of fucking shit, but hey, legalize the drug. Well, I agree with that. If you legalize the drugs, now we've eliminated a lot of the problem. I think every single person, boy, if I was president right now, I'd write an executive order.
Certain drugs.
Well,
you don't want pain pills. Pain pills kill people. Heroin kills people. We don't want
alcohol kills people. Alcohol kills people too. What are we doing about that?
Very true.
Yeah, alcohol kills people. A lot more than fucking marijuana kills.
It's a lot easier to get somebody off.
We make a lot of fucking money off alcohol. We make a lot of fucking money off tobacco. Tobacco and alcohol are killing way more fucking people than marijuana and some of the other drugs that people get locked up for. And, make them all fucking illegal. Or don't be picking and choosing because of how much fucking money you're making off from it. And prisons being a profit and children. That get put into these foster homes being a profit. Anytime people are making money off of something like that, people are going to get fucked. Prisoners are getting fucked. There shouldn't be anybody serving fucking multiple years in prison because they had a fucking bag of goddamn marijuana.
Right, and that's me right there.
I think Biden will do something about that within these next 2 years. I think, but if we let them out, well, now they got to get jobs. Well, of course they do. They had jobs before you fucking locked them up. They were they were selling marijuana. But if you make it legal, now you've taken away that job. That job doesn't exist anymore. There's no such thing as a drug dealer. And yeah, there are certain drugs that kill, and people are making choices. And but no, we gotta quit. We gotta quit locking people up. I mean, the murderers need to be locked up. The rapists need to be locked up. The child molesters need to be locked up. We got to quit fucking locking people up for goddamn marijuana. I think it's legal in 20-something, 30-something states now. And we need to get on board with that. But there's still people in fucking jail for doing next to nothing. And we were going to talk about why you went to jail. The two things, we're going to save it for another show because once they got you in here, nobody wanted to donate anymore. So we'll save that for the next show. And Let's see.
I'll tell you this. For starters, I didn't get a chance to say this, but the other day when you mentioned me in the show, that was actually a big deal for me. Because you got to remember, it's been like so many years since I've done this. And then it reminded me that it was something that I actually did like to do.
Yeah, and do remember, I've never touched a drug in my life, but I think it's ridiculous we're putting people away in prison for fucking 5, 10, 15, and 20 years over fucking marijuana. Anybody that's in prison on a marijuana-related charge, I don't care if they had a fucking truck full of it.
And that was me.
Let them. Did you have a truck full?
I didn't have a truck full. I'll go into that when we tell the story, but I will say this. The prison I was at is what they would call in Ohio a private prison, meaning it probably held about 3,000 to 5,000 people, but these 3,000 to 5,000 people, maybe half of them had normal charges to where you're like, oh, you could go to prison for that? Yeah, a lot of the prisoners that are in prison are because probation is set up to fail in an unfair way. Like, I went to prison for something that my lawyer told me that if I was living in Cleveland and I wasn't living in a suburban part of Cleveland, I wouldn't even have went to prison.
I've been to the suburban parts of Cleveland. Me and Chris were driving by some schools that looked like they'd been shot up. I mean,
no, I'm talking about suburbia, the rich parts.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant okay. Yeah, we went through the rougher part. I didn't go through too many of the rich parts. I was downtown. We went to Jacobs Field to see the Indians. We saw the brand new Cleveland Browns football stadium that had just been built. And we also went into some rougher parts of town where kids were in class and looked like the fucking windows had been shot out.
Yeah. Now, I know where you're talking about. Now, suburbia up here is what we consider like good neighborhoods. And what's funny is what you were saying about the Mexicans, and I'm not going to say any names, but I'm just going to say the story. Out here, when I was one city over from where I lived growing up, Manor, Ohio, it's called Painesville, Ohio. Don't ask me why, but they have Mexicans that go out there, meaning when in the 2000s, early 90s, there's a lot of illegals out there. Yeah. Now, the guy that would bring the van up, he would also bring drugs, blah, 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 etc. with the illegals. And this was this guy's hustle. He'd bring the illegals up and the drugs. Because I used to buy mezcal, which is a liquor with the worm on the bottom. Yeah, those liquors with the worm on the bottom?
Tequila, right? Is that tequila?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a story I can tell.
I didn't even know that, but I've seen a lot of people drink liquor with a worm in it. It's tequila.
Before the internet, I knew rich fathers that would shop for these bottles of liquor that you could only get in Mexico. And before the internet, there was a lot more ways you can make money off items that are global.
I'm sure.
So that's just what they're worried about when it comes to minorities. Not saying there's not 50 good ones. I was in jail with a lot of good, Mexican minorities. I would try to learn Spanish, shit
I
like
am not good at learning foreign languages. All my Filipino friends have done. I learned Mahal Kita. Mahal Kita, you know what that means?
No.
Mahal Kita means I love you. So if you ever meet a Filipino girl, it's good to know that one.
I speak Italian.
I don't. Now, Maya, my daughter-in-law, she speaks 5, almost 6 languages now. And and all of them pretty damn fluently. I mean, if she runs anybody that speaks her languages, man, she can just go to town in a heartbeat. But I'm blanking out on what her favorite language seems to be, because she learned German after leaving Brazil. Portuguese. If she runs into anybody that speaks Portuguese, man, it's on. And the girls and guys that meet her that speak Portuguese just fall in love with her. And she loves them because it's cool to run into people and that they can speak 5 or 6 different languages and she can converse with them. I mean, I wish I was smart enough to learn that. I just have no ability to learn.
Most of them are hard because I have a translation app and I wanted to learn Chinese.
Yeah,
and I couldn't even.
Chinese is hard. Well, they say harder.
I couldn't even repeat it back. Like Spanish words, I could repeat back. You hear a guy speak Chinese, and they're like, "Repeat," and you're like, "What?" You know what I mean? Not in a bad way. That's just, you know what I mean. They say it's the smartest country in the world, and the language is pretty hard.
Now I'm also Mr. Thursday Night now too. We do the shows live on Monday nights and Thursday nights. Thursday nights is Kenny the King live, in honor of Larry King. We have a tendency. Guapo and guapa. Guapa is what you would say to a girl. Guapo is what you would say to a man. And you know what that means?
Well, we call guap money.
Yeah, well, guapo means handsome, And I think guapa means beautiful or something similar to that. I'm sure Jenica will smarten me up here in a little bit. And Ice Cream Lady was in here earlier. She's probably watching from work. She's the one that helps me feeds all the kids ice cream in the Philippines. Of course, we bought a lot of fruit this time as well. And she also guides us in the direction for people that need books, rice.
What does that comment say? The one Brad put at the end?
What did Brad put? Mountain. We call him Mountain Timer. I love me some broccoli rabe. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what rabe is. I know what the broccoli is.
I know. Well, what is broccoli a drug phrase or term or?
No, but he's got to be talking about weed, Kenny. It's common sense.
Well, I don't have much of that.
Okay.
Not when it comes to drugs. I have common sense about, but I know nothing about drugs. I barely know any of the terminology. Never touched a marijuana cigarette in my life. More or less smoked one.
Like I said, I'll tell you on my story when I tell the prison story.
I barely know it's called weed, but see, broccoli's not a weed.
I woke up in a world where I don't think I knew how to survive without it, meaning I just didn't have a support group that wasn't hustling, if you would say.
Yeah. So what do you do now? And like I said, I don't want to get into the two things you did that got you in prison, even though I think we know what one of them is, but we'll go in deeper into that on another show.
Well, if you check the old show, I did say this, a shout out. I for years, I've known a set of twin brothers, Phil and Pat Harford. Now, these are guys that...
Umaga means morning, by the way. Give me a second here to cover my Filipino words. Do you know what aso means?
No.
Also, my ex-girlfriend from about 7 years ago, she says, Kenny, because she used to call me Daddy Bear. That was her nickname for me. And I said, why do you call me Daddy Bear? She says, well, you're the only person who ever loved me as much as my father. So I call you Daddy Bear. And her father had died of a heart attack before I met her. So I guess 9-10 years ago, however long. And her mother died the following year. So I was really the only person she had in her life that she felt truly cared about her. And she nicknamed me Daddy Bear and told me, well, so finally after a year, I said, why do you call me Daddy Bear? And she said, well, you're the only person that ever loved me as much as my father. And she said, well, Maya, she said, what does Maya call you? Your daughter-in-law. I said, oh, she calls me asshole. She call you asshole. Why she call you street dog? I said, well, no, that's not what an asshole is. So she spells out aso, A-S-O, and that means street dog in the Philippines. So she thought Maya, when she called me an asshole, was calling me a street dog. So that's how I learned what street dog is. It's aso, A-S-O. And she's got me one more here. Grandpa Lolo. Okay, Grandpa's Lolo. I didn't know that. See, some people, I'm 61, probably little kids would refer to me as Grandpa. There's a girl there in the Philippines that's 14 that calls me Papa because she says, you've been better to me than my father was. We've helped her family several times. Her mother was in here earlier today. And this little 14-year-old girl calls me Papa. I said, why you call me Papa? And she said, well, you've done more for me than my father ever did. And so Filipinos, man, if you treat them good, they really show their love. And you can't be jealous over other Filipinos because if you help a lot of families, a lot of people are going to love you. And Ice Cream Lady loves me. Mango Lady loves me. Jenica Jean loves me. I've helped her family a few times. And, you want
me to answer your question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, yes, what I do. Now, like I said, I know a set of twin brothers that knew me ever before I got in trouble. Now, these are guys that do real well. They work. They're hard workers. They're not like they've never been in trouble with the law, stuff like that. They got families. Right. Now, when I got out of jail, they were deciding to open up a car lot. Now, this is in 2012.
Yeah, I heard you say earlier that you were involved with a car lot. I heard that earlier.
So basically, them being the guys that really had, the backgrounds and the money to start the car lot, they started the car lot, but I'm more of the salesman. So basically, they put me in charge of being the guy that sells all the cars. I got a driveway full of cars. But I would be lying if I didn't say I still don't survive off weed here and there. That's just that's just how it is, Ken. I mean, I'll explain that.
Don't give your address. It's probably not legal in Ohio, if I had to guess.
Well, I mean, no, they give you marijuana cards. I'm not even something that they would consider.
Wait a minute. They give you marijuana cards? What's a marijuana card? What's that about?
Well, I have a marijuana card where I could go buy weed at the store.
Oh, okay. For mental or physical help?
Yes, but the black market always lives, Ken. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. I mean, there's black market everything, even in fucking headphones. So, yeah.
When you're 38 years old and you did something for 21 years sometimes, as much as you would love to be put in another situation,
Yeah.
those situations don't come about when you
I
just
got
got out of prison.
I
You're
got
looked at as a felon. You know what I mean? There's been times.
I know, and that needs to be done away with. It really does, especially for one of these things we're talking about.
And I started buying all this.
Jawa means girlfriend or boyfriend. That's something new. Filipino word I did not know. Jawa means girlfriend and or boyfriend. He and she kind of means the same thing down there too. I will see oftentimes, well, she didn't come home tonight. I said, I said, I thought your dad wasn't home. No, but she and he, I think oftentimes mean the same thing there. She might explain that if she's in here. Like, hell, she's teaching us a lot about Filipino language today.
Yeah.
We need the cards. There we go. He wants to know if you can sell JJ Arwood a car. He's looking for a good car for $1,800. You got any connections on a car for $1,800?
Most of my cars are $3,000 and under.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Well, we might have to have you and JJ talk here, and maybe JJ can wait for his supplemental check to come in, and he'll have enough to buy one from you.
Now, I ended up excelling at selling cars because when I first started, I didn't know a thing. Yeah. I know a lot now. It's probably the only. These are the only guys willing to give me a job.
My son's a car expert. He'd probably love to talk with you sometime. My son's a big car expert. There's not too much about cars he don't know.
I saw like the A to B'ers. Guys want to spend $1,500. You know, they're not going to be perfect cars. Any car under, any car under 25.
I mean, shit. I spent $3,800 on mine, and it seemed in top shape. He had all the fucking records, it all well maintained. I'd be goddamn if sensors didn't start going out not long after I got it, so I had to drop another $1,600 in it. Then I had to buy new tires because 2 of the tires were going bald, so I just went in and bought 4 new tires. Got a good deal on them for a couple $100. And then putting the tires on, I realized that the bushings and all that shit were going bad. So I got them sitting over here in a bag now. I just got to go to Big O and get them put on. That's going to be another few hundred. So it's always something. It's always something.
Yeah, and like I tell people, I buy cars now, but like I say, used cars, anything could happen. And my thing is, I won't bullshit people for this reason. Mm-hmm. If you're just I've been honest in my 8 years, people will think car dealers bullshit. Some do. Yeah, right. But my thing was,
there's a lot of
but my thing is, if a car didn't sell, I still made my survival money. That's what helped me being on. Me and my partners, we're honest guys. People that have had trouble with cars that wasn't their problem, we've helped them. You know, I do have a good heart. I've lived in the, whatever you call it, the underground for many years. But that's kind of the reason why I bought this podcasting equipment. I kind of wanted to start getting back into it.
Thank you.
But.
I think you're going to do fine at it. Are you going to start your own podcast and all that?
Honestly, I probably would if I was in a group, but to be honest, it's like there's so many.
Well, when I got in, that's why they called me the longest running original podcast. I started, I guess in 2007 or 2008. So however long that's been, and I've done 18 seasons, 19 to be coming up in September. And, when I did it, there wasn't fucking 50 of us that had a legit podcast that anybody was listening to. And now there's fucking thousands of them. And I have a niche audience. I don't have the biggest audience.
I'd rather just be, temporarily, come on your show here and there. Mm-hmm. My thing is, I do shows that are like, for instance, I'm really good at doing wrestling review, but they got a million shows like that. Mm-hmm. Now, if I was a guest on somebody's show, that would be one thing. Because then you could get noticed on a show or whatever. I'm really good at talking about sports. They're just, sports isn't really talked about right now like it was. With no fans has been a big thing. Like, I'll watch it and I'll go, wow, I can't realize how much the product gets watered down with no fans, especially wrestling. Wrestling will not grow with no fans. It would be like
hard to do.
Austin would have got a rating no matter what, but picture him without his pop of the fans.
Yeah, you got to have
or the
fans.
Rockets.
Help me out. Sean Moore says that his buddy sells the devil's lettuce and makes $1,500 a month. That's more than I make selling lettuce.
Now, $1,500 a month will only cover the bills at my house, unfortunately.
And the sheriff says he takes CBD. We've talked about it. Did nothing for me. My brother took it, said it was a miracle drug for him. Said it healed his back, his neck, his hips, his knees. I only have bad knees. And I said, well, man, if it'll help. I took 5 times the milligrams he was taking and taking it twice a day where he was taking his, well, not 5 times. I was taking 1,000 milligrams. My brother was taking 300. I was taking mine twice a day. He was taking his once. I was taking a full dropper. He was taking half. So he's taking half of 300 once a day. I'm taking twice of 1,000 milligrams once a day. And he claims that the little bit he was taking was a miracle drug. Didn't do shit for me. I took it for 30 days. Did nothing. So
weed's becoming more legal and legal by the day.
yeah,
they're selling CBD weed in stores up here.
Yeah,
that
CBD
means it doesn't
you
have
can get here in
THC.
Louisville. I can go down the street 4 miles and they got a shop there, and I think they got another one over here and more on Frankfurt Avenue. I don't know if you can just walk in and buy a bag of marijuana in Kentucky yet. Maybe you can. I don't know.
You got to have a card up here.
Got to have a card. Okay, yeah.
But you would not make money buying weed at their store and selling it on the street. No,
I don't know what my brand was, Brad. I went into one of these shops here and it came highly recommended. I showed it to my brother. Maybe I'll try it one more time on something you recommend. And then if I go 0 for 2, fuck it. But PayPal gave me my $40 back though. I just say, hey, it didn't work. So I wasn't out no money. PayPal gave me my $40 back, but I'll try it again. I'll try it again. But I'm going to go with something I didn't try my brother's brand. So whether brand had anything to do with it or not, but it was one of the shops here in town. I figured they'd known what the hell they were selling and what works and what don't.
Shout out to the people who've been watching that video that we first did. That's getting up to 600 views.
Oh, does it really?
To me, that's an impressive thing, Ken.
I've got what I mean? Well, here's the thing, though. That show aired on Periscope, YouTube, Facebook.
I beat Vampiro.
I can't remember. I can't.
And you know what's funny is you're going to be.
It is weird. Me and Maya have done shows on our own back in the old days when we were only broadcasting on YouTube that got 5,000 views in a month. But we had no audio outlet then. The only way you could see our show was to watch it on YouTube. That was it. So now it makes us look bad because we're on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram starting soon from what the people at StreamYard are telling me. So we're going to be on all these different formats. And then we're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. We're on countless fucking audio podcasts. And most people prefer to hear this show as they drive down the road because the shows are long. It's not like we're doing 10 and 20-minute shows. If they take a long trip, they throw my show in. If they're going to work and they're in a lot of traffic, they throw my show in. So they prefer the audio version. So we're killing it on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, those 4. And then there's 3 or 4 others that we do real good on. We're the number 2 listened to wrestling podcast in Poland. We're in the top 100 in every country there is, but those are the audio ratings. I don't make any money off the audio ratings. So I have almost considered killing all my audio deals, even though I love the coverage and love being number 2 in Poland, and just going back to only being on YouTube to force people to come here to watch the show.
There was, if you'd have to go on YouTube, somebody thought that me coming on your show, I don't want to say the word rib, but they thought it was planned. Someone said, I can't believe how convenient it was that you came on and it just happened to work.
No,
that was
go ahead and say that because it certainly wasn't planned.
Yeah, if anybody, first of all, thanks to everybody who did watch it, make a good comment. But if you go on YouTube, it says, pretty convenient that this guy gets some date. I guess that date meant something. You would have to look that up.
Yeah.
But
well, I'll have to look it up because I did not see that comment, but I don't often read them. Chris probably looks at the comments.
That's not on a live chat. It's on the actual comments under our video.
Oh, it's on the actual comments. Okay.
On the actual comments. Look it up. Now, you actually like the comments, so you must have read it and put it past your mind.
Well, but Chris likes the comments too, so one of us did it. I don't recall seeing that comment because I would have probably called them out and said, hey, he wasn't fucking planned. Fuck you. But no, he definitely was not planned. He wasn't planned tonight, but that's why I said.
You caught me off guard. I was covered in water. I was like, fuck. Because I got you on a laptop, and what I'm doing is I'm buying a PC. I hate this laptop. It's outdated.
I hate laptops. I've never owned a laptop. I got a tablet. I've got an iPad. I got an iPhone. I got an Android phone.
I bought a $900 monitor from Best Buy.
Well, I've got a 70-inch screen here that was donated to me by a television shop down the street that I guarantee I could have bought anywhere for $399.
And now I just got to buy
it's a standard 4K 70-inch screen, but for me to be able to read everybody's comments, and these glasses happen to work for that, It works for me. I could never survive trying to do this show on a phone, a tablet, a laptop, or even a standard computer screen. It just would not be big enough. So this works. It's comfortable for me. It's almost as big as the TV behind you. The one behind you is 75 inches. And
Yeah,
I don't know why.
dude, I told you I got multi-screen set up over here, Kenny. I got about three.
I used to do that. I used to have multiple computer screens to where I could join them together if I wanted. And the mouse would go screen to screen, and the two computer screens were like they were two 32-inch screens, I think. So now I just use 170-inch screen and just do that. YouTube channel is important. Well, even Jenica Jean in the Philippines says that the YouTube channel is important. And most of the people in the Philippines watch us either on YouTube or Facebook because I think it's easier for their data that way. And I'm glad Jenica got to tune in because she doesn't always have an internet signal to be able to watch us with. So I think this is the first time she's got to watch my show. And she's one of the families we've helped. I hope I'm not saying too much that Jenica minds about, but her mother wrote me once when they found out that we were raising money to help people in the Philippines. And if I have my people correct, I think Jenica's mom is the one who had 13 kids, but 8 of them live at home. And I even video chatted with the family after we helped them. They had an internet signal. And I video chatted with just about the whole family, and primarily with Jenica. She was more or less the representative of the family. She has a cute little teenage sister that's going to school. Jenica helps put her through school. And Jenica kind of started her own business there recently. And we tried to help out with that a little bit to get her going. And she's been doing pretty good. I'm very proud of her. And anybody that tries to help themselves, I mean, they don't want handouts. They just want a hand, and they just want some help and to provide for themselves. And when there's 8 kids and a total of 13, and 8 of them live at home, and you got mom and dad, it ain't easy. And so I try to keep up with everybody. Yes. I don't know how you do it, sweetie. I have made decent money all my life, probably more when I was in pro wrestling. I don't know how the fuck you do it. I don't know how I would have done it.
Kenny, that's how I explain you to my friends.
13 kids is a lot of kids.
When I explain you to my friends, I always go, you might not know who Kenny Bolin is, but let me tell you who does know who Kenny Bolin is. Mark Cuban, Dave Batista, Brock Lesnar, Jim Cornette, Conrad Thompson, if you want to throw him in there.
Yeah, well, he knows me. Yeah, he definitely knows.
Rico Constantine. I only know Rico because of you. I didn't even know what the hell Rico was.
Rico was huge in the WWE for about 5 years. He used to manage Billy and Chuck, and they had one of the greatest angles ever done on SmackDown. Look up the Billy and Chuck wedding, and you'll see. You have seen it.
Oh, you know what's funny,
and it's Rico Costantino from one Italian to another. He'll be offended if you fuck his name up.
If you guys ever decided to do a wrestling review, my knowledge with wrestling is so strong that that's the kind of shit I'm good at. That's what I said. I could come on your show, but we got to figure out some kind of like topic when I come on. You know what I mean? Something that I could kind of go on about, because there's a lot like politics I don't know nothing about. Well, I know a lot about shows.
That's my specialty, but it's all I watch. I mean, I watch everybody. I don't just get my news from Fox. I just don't get it from CNN or MSNBC or BBC. CBS, ABC, NBC, or where the fuck ever. I watch everybody. And some shit makes sense, some shit don't. You hear some politicians talk, you say that's fake ass shit. He's fucking bullshitting everybody. And even though there's a senator I'm not real happy with now, that Manchin in West Virginia, he really almost fucked up everything for everybody getting their fucking relief money and businesses getting money and COVID help and paychecks for families. I mean, some families are going to be getting $5,000 or $6,000 fucking dollars, and he nearly fucked it up. But what I do like about him, he speaks from the heart. He said, even though he's from a Republican state, so he's got to blow the Republicans a little bit.
Who, Joe?
Joe Manchin, is that his name?
They call him China Joe up here.
Is that what they call it? No, you're talking about Biden.
Beijing Biden. Oh, I thought that's
no. I'm talking about a senator. No. Oh. Well, let's put it this way: Beijing Biden, or whatever it is you want to call him, he didn't cash when Trump took office. The very first month he was in office, and they found this in his bank records. This is shit he didn't want getting out. He cashed out. He withdrew $17 million from a bank in China the month he got elected, and still had over 22 million left in there that he had not took out at that time. And that was what they had discovered the first month he was in there. And all this shit is going to come out when the state of New York is getting him for all this bank fraud, tax fraud, insurance fraud, and all this shit that they're getting him for.
Now, making
You're
guys
gonna hear this
money.
come back again.
I always thought that
But now
was
Joe Biden
MO.
didn't make $40 million out of China hidden in a bank account and all these fucking offshore bank accounts. So, and if they do, find him and get him for it. But they don't have it. If they did, they'd have it by now. Because he actually turned over his tax records. It's Donald Trump that hid them for 5 years. Why do you hide your taxes for 5 years? Because you got fucking something to hide that you don't want the people knowing about. You want my taxes? Pull them up. Pull them up for fucking 40 years if you want to. I don't give a shit because I got nothing to hide.
Yeah, no doubt in that.
When you hide them for 5 years, you're hiding them for a fucking reason. When you're bragging you're a billionaire, and that's one of the main things he didn't want people finding out, is that he's fucking broke and that he has to grift off all these people and that he doesn't have no fucking $5 billion a year he was making and all this shit. And Mark Cuban told me himself, he told me and Stephen Colbert, is Donald Trump really a billionaire? You would know, you're a fucking billionaire. He says if I loan him $500 million, he might be a billionaire. But then again, if he cashes out, he owes more than he's worth. So no, he's not worth anything because if he pays everything he owes, he has no money. And he owes over $500 million coming up here real soon, not to mention what he owes in taxes. This is just loans he's got out. Well, why would a fucking multi-billionaire that makes $5 billion a year be borrowing money? Why?
Good point.
Yeah, well,
we can't argue that.
If I had $5 billion, I'm not borrowing any money from anybody. More or less $5 billion a year. So it's good God. I mean,
now these guys making money. I just thought that was a politician thing. I never doubted that he made. They always said he made the rich richer. I'm not doubting that.
Yeah,
I thought
he did. He did.
I thought politicians always did that. You know, that was like a thing. I don't really know what they do, but you know, I thought they do make people money or they make money.
Trump supporter.
I really don't know.
Sheriff, the Trump supporter. If him and his kid have any money there, eventually it will come out and let them do what they do because I don't give a fuck. It's Trump that we're talking about right now. And they're trying to get Joe for what his kid did or didn't do. And they're talking about, well, he didn't get
that was stupid.
Hang on. The only reason he got that job is because his dad was vice president. Well, how the fuck do you think the Trump kids got their fucking jobs? And one of them got a fucking White House job with absolutely no experience, who got 18 fucking patents her first year in the Trump organization from fucking China. I don't hear you bitching about that. I don't hear the other fucking Republicans bitching about it, but they're concerned that Joe's kid got a fucking deal in China or wherever the fuck he was working. It wasn't even China. It was another country. I forgot what it was. But who gives a fuck? And if they've done wrong, arrest them. Lock them up. Don't be trying to protect them like you do with fucking Trump and all these other fucks. Why do you want to protect the fucking rapists, the criminals, the tax evaders? Why would you do that? Why would you want to protect a fucking rapist and a child molester? 12 kids he had to settle out of court with. You don't think he did it? 43 women have accused him of sexual assault. You don't think he did it? And I've explained this to you, Sheriff. If 43 people come to the cemetery and tell you Kenny Bolin sexually assaulted them, I'm not going to see fucking daylight for quite some fucking time. But yet you want to support this motherfucker, which blows me the fuck away. And he led a fucking insurrection, told him the date, told him where to go, what to use, how to get there, and when to do it. Oh, I'm going to march down there with you. No, he didn't. He went and fucking hid because he knew it was going to be fucking dangerous down there. He went and fucking hid. He watched it on television. Told that fucking piece of shit leader of his, I forgot his name, McCarthy, tells McCarthy, who's begging him to call off the fucking dogs, oh, that's Antifa. No, it ain't fucking Antifa. These are your goddamn people. Who the fuck do you think you're talking to is what he said to Trump. Oh, well, I guess they care more about the election than you do. That they're willing to storm the Capitol and try and stop the fucking count. Try to get try to get Pence hung because Pence wouldn't do what he didn't have the power to do, wanting him to overturn the fucking election.
So are they not friends no more?
Stand by this fucking shit. And 140 cops got hurt. 1 got killed. 2 committed suicide. 1 of them lost his fucking fingers. And you all stand by these motherfuckers. This motherfucker. These motherfuckers that fucking support him. That are his fucking yes men. Won't fucking stand up to him. And you think he's all about the Republican Party. No, he's not. He just sent out a cease and desist letter telling all the Republicans, do not make money off my name. Do not use my picture. Do not use my image. Fuck the Republicans. And now he's trying to come up with the Save America Party. And now he wants people sending money to him and not to the Republicans. He's all about him fucking self. He's trying to grift as fucking much money as he can because he knows he's going to be in court for the next 4 fucking years, if not longer, if not in jail. And he's a piece of fucking shit. And it blows me away that fucking cops stand by him after he got cops hurt and killed all on his fucking own. He organized the fucking date. He used his campaign money for $50 fucking million that he thought was a good investment. Well, if I pay $50 million to get these people here, they'll storm the fucking Capitol. They'll fucking kill Democrats, and I'll still be president. And then I don't have to go to jail. That was exactly his fucking motivation. And you being a cop ought to be ashamed for yourself because he got cops killed, cops maimed, cops hurt, cops sprayed with fucking bear spray. He got a lot of fucking people hurt, several people killed, all of them Republicans. No Democrats got killed that day. Thank fucking God. If you believe in God, thank somebody. And then you fucking support these people.
You know, Kenny, what's funny is this. When that happened, I was like, well, that guy just sank himself.
Well, I didn't ask you if you sent money to any of them. If you come in here, hang on, he's still blabbing. If you come in here and verbally support them, I've never sent money to any of them. They all got more fucking money than I got. Why am I going to give them what little I got? I'm not giving them any fucking money. I give people money that fucking need it, that need food on their table, that need a mattress, that need a roof, that need rice. No, I'm not going to send any of these motherfuckers money. Shame on Chris Jericho for whatever he fucking sent. Whatever fucking money Trump's got, he's got more than fucking Chris Jericho. He grifted for $220 million before he left the fucking office. So no, you don't have to send them money to support them. I ain't sending any of these motherfuckers money. Republican, Democrat, or Independent. It don't matter. I ain't sending any of them money. I'm not going to pay them so they can go down and get a $177,000 job in Congress, a $188,000 job in the Senate, $220,000 job for vice president, or a $440,000 job to be the president. Why would you give up $5 billion a year so you could make $440,000 that you claim you gave to charity? And maybe he did, maybe he didn't. But the first tax relief bill that he cut made all of his supporters, everybody that put him in the fucking White House to begin with, and his Jared Kushner and all of his fucking millionaire and billionaire friends, they made $2.3 billion in profit on the first tax cut that he gave them. They also figured out today, because they're bitching about all this relief money going out, if they just did away with the first Trump tax cut that was dedicated to the top 1% of America, that alone would pay for the entire bill that we just passed. All that money would go away. I say we fucking do that. Fucking reverse it. Fucking sign an executive order. Fuck that goddamn top 1%. They got enough fucking money. Why are we giving them a tax break? Biden is going to make life easier for 50% of the kids in America. 50% of the kids that are in poverty right now get elevated from it. See, I know my fucking politics, so I appreciate you listening. So what his thing's doing is going to elevate 50% of the kids to where they're not suffering in poverty anymore. Shame we can't get all 100% of them saved, but 50% beats fucking none. But Trump wanted to save the top 1%, the people that he associates with, the people he hangs with, people in his family, and people that put him in office. All about him fucking self. And the same thing he's doing now. Grifting, making as much fucking money off his name as he possibly can because he knows he's got to somehow get back in power in 4 years, which ain't going to happen. If he didn't win now, how the fuck's he going to win in 4 years? He lost the Senate, he lost the House, he lost Congress, he lost the presidency, he lost Georgia. How much more does this stupid motherfucker have to lose before people fucking smarten up and realize this motherfucker's a loser? Why am I attaching my name to him? Why am I sending him money? Why do I send my $20 to him, or $5 or $10 or thousands or whatever they send? And in the small print, it says if you don't send over $8,000, he can spend it on anything he wants. So why are people so fucking stupid, Sheriff? Why? Help me out. Well, I like Kamala more too. And what if Joe Biden dies? Then Kamala's president. Well, great. I got my number one fucking draft pick as president. Go ahead, Pesci. We're going to wrap this up in a minute. I've been on too long. Ain't no one donated shit since you got here.
Well, I will say that.
They used me, Pesci, is what they did. They used me. They donated that money to get you on the show, and then once they got you, they quit donating. What a horrible bunch of fans I have.
Kenny, from the outside looking in, they did well on donations.
They did well. I'm just fucking with everybody.
You know what I mean? All you're doing is wearing a shirt and yelling at Trump, you know?
Sheriff, because he goes around promoting Trump, talking all that great shit about him, says he's a registered Democrat. Bullshit. I want to see that card. Take a picture of it and send it to me on Instagram. I'll take a look at it. You better be glad you feed geese and my dogs, or you and I would have some heat, Sheriff Wyandotte, or whatever name you go by now.
I'll tell you this.
He didn't buy a shirt either. I put his shirt in the merchandise store that said Donald fucking Lord on it, Sheriff. Never bought one. I figured the whole police department would have been buying his shirts, but they never did. Zach Boniford, don't ever think you can cut a promo with me, son. I don't know how good you think you are or how much time you got in this business. Don't ever think you can cut a promo with me, boy. You just sit back and learn. Don't be learning from Dutch Mantel, because Dutch can't cut no promo on me either, because Dutch is a Trump supporter. He don't know what he's talking about. He's all upset. Him and Lawler don't speak to me no more because I told these two fools that Donald Trump wasn't going to win. I told him he wasn't going to have a snowball's chance in hell at staying in power, and they wouldn't listen to me. Oh, no, man, everybody loves Trump. Trump's going to win the presidency. He's going to win in a landslide. Well, the only person that said that was Donald Trump, because he can't fucking count because he thinks he's a fucking billionaire. He's a dumb fuck. He's a rapist. He's a piece of shit. Fuck him. Fuck anybody that fucking still supports him, because you're supporting a fucking rapist and a child molester. There you go. Woo!
I was guilty.
Save the show, Pesci. They got me all worked up.
I'll tell you, you cutting promos on Trump supporters, there might be a draw there. Like, I know you call them trolls, but if we were to bring in like 10 Trump supporters a night,
they won't stay long. They won't stay long. But here's my thing. They have every opportunity to come here.
This is how you do it. You have them say their piece, and then you fucking put them to bed.
I've actually done shows like that. I've actually done shows like that on other podcasts where they want me to come in and go head to head with a Trump supporter. They have everyone ended the show before it was over. They quit. They tap out. They won't come back. They never hang around for the whole fucking show because they know they ain't got fucking shit to talk about.
You got to have thick skin around Kenny Bolin. That's why, listen, Saturday, you will be impressed because I do have some shit to go over with Vampiro.
Wait a minute. Ricky Freezer. Kenny, you have some fools in your live. I don't know what that means. Clearly,
that means guest. He's talking about guest.
You'll put Mitch back in. Well, no, I ain't going to put Mitch back in. They've already put him in. I don't know where you were. They've already had the election. And these dumb fucking Kentuckians, 66% of them put him back in office. 33% voted for the young lady. I done forgot her name now. Doesn't matter. She didn't win. Even though everybody claims they hate him, no one has ever admitted they voted for Mitch McConnell. I'm 61 years old. Mitch has been in fucking office, I think.
I don't even know who that is.
Mitch McConnell, he's the Senate. He was the Senate leader. Now he's the minority leader. And he's been in office about 30-something years, about half my fucking life. I've never met anybody. I know you are, Ricky. I'm just fucking with you. I've never met anybody that admitted they voted for Mitch McConnell. But yet this old turtle-faced fuck wins every goddamn time. If you saw him, you'd know who he is. If you've seen any television at all in the news, you would have seen Mitch McConnell. He's the only human being in the world who looks just like a turtle. That'd be the guy. No, I'm just fucking with you, Ricky. You're fine. Go ahead. Jake, I'm a big fan of yours, Kenny. I tweet your stream out all the time. You go live. An awesome person, Kenneth. What do you every day keep you? Well, I guess I ought to throw that up. He said so many nice things. I guess I ought to throw that one up. He's on Twitch. He's wanting me to do a show. I am so burnt out on Twitch. I am just not a fan of Twitch. I don't think Twitch is a fan of me. A lot of Trump supporters on Twitch. I think that's got something to do with it. I don't really like
there is 76 million of them, Ken.
Is there 76 million Twitchers?
Hear about 76 million Trump supporters. So
actually everybody keeps jacking that number up. It's actually a little over 72 million.
Okay,
but every time
I'll go by your number.
74, 75. So there's no way Joe Biden got 82 million votes. Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that? He got more than Obama. Were you surprised?
No, and I'll tell you why.
I didn't say they were illegal votes. Were you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised, and I'll tell you why. The commoner, number one, there was nothing to vote for because Obama was going away. And so when Trump won, there was no desperateness to the situation. Most of us knew Trump was a fuck, but there were so many people out there that were believing the wrestling promo, believing he was going to do something for poor people, believing he was caring about the farmers and all this shit. And then after 4 years of him proving what the fuck he was, the cult was staying with him. Jimmy Cornette has the cult of Cornette. He calls that for a reason, because Jimmy can do no wrong in certain people's eyes. And no matter what he does, who he insults, what women he hurts, what women he insults, no matter what he does, they stick with him. He's more like Donald Trump than anybody will ever realize. Donald Trump's the same way. Donald Trump said it himself when he was hadn't even been elected president. I could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and I wouldn't lose any votes. He's right. They will cover him for no matter what he does. If you will cover a guy for raping women, molesting women, sexually assaulting women, raping and molesting children of boys and girls alike, like it matters, then you're going to stand by him if he shot somebody. Oh, well, you had to shoot him. It was self-defense, and they would all be fucking saying that. The QAnon's been around longer than we think, because the QAnon, you can't convince them anything. They just said that Trump was going to take back office on March the 4th. March the 4th, they're going to invoke some 1776 rule, and he's going to be the 19th. And they believe this shit. And then they're fucking blown away when all these stupid fucking things never happen. And they're just the dumbest bunch of fucks. And but then again, you know, you got the David Koresh people that followed him. You got the Charlie Manson people that followed him. You got, who am I leaving out? Jim Jones, the fucking king of them. And there are certain people that you can convince that Jim Jones did no wrong, that David Koresh did no wrong. The wacko in Waco, down in Waco, Texas, where Big Red is manufactured. Bet you didn't know that. And well, I do bash Trump on every podcast. If his name comes up, he gets bashed. So, and like I said, whatever people promote on their page, I wouldn't even care if Pesci loves him and promotes him. I would try to educate him. I'd try and smarten him up a little bit.
I would tell you.
As long as he doesn't promote it on this show, I do not care. Go ahead,
tell
Pesci.
you.
I've been talking a long time. Go ahead.
No, two things I wanted to say before you wrapped up tonight. No, I would tell you if I was a Trump supporter. Wouldn't you? I know you would.
Have to be a word. You're not a chicken shit. You're not a little.
And I heard you say you didn't hate Trump until blah blah blah. So it's not like you're automatically going to hate somebody. But I don't
I didn't hate him until I learned more about who he was. I actually used to watch The Apprentice. I knew he was a prick, but I didn't hate him. I didn't wish him dead. I didn't wish him, any ill will. I just knew he was a prick. As I learned more about him from people who knew him way better than me, and then I met him 3 times at WWE shows, and then at one of the shows I was at, he groped 2 of the WWE girls. They were terrified to say anything. They didn't want to come forward because they knew that fucking Vince McMahon loved him. Vince ain't the most saintly person on the fucking planet Earth either, and how could you be? Because he knows all the shit Trump did. He's from the New York northeastern area. He knows everything about Trump. He knows the shit that him and Fred did.
He's been running from him for years. He's been putting WrestleManias on at Trump plazas since the 80s.
Yeah, well.
In the 1980s, it said Trump Plaza before.
Well, and that's where McMahon and Trump are alike. If you blow Trump, he'll love you forever. If you ever stand up to him on anything, he hates you forever. That's why he's calling out all these Republicans who voted to impeach him in the House and in the Senate. They're now his enemies because they had balls. They stood up to him. They call him out on his bullshit. So now he wants to declare war on those Republicans. But yet he says he's not going to form the Trump party. Well, he better, because there are decent Republicans out there, but not the ones that support Trump, because they're an enabler. They enable him to do all this shit, to badmouth women. I can run you highlight reels of all the horrible things he said about women, but they're worried that Joe Biden, what was he said the other day? Joe Biden called somebody a Neanderthal. You and I both know that Trump has called women far, far worse than that for the last 5 years. Called Hillary Clinton far worse. Called any woman who ever disagreed with him, especially women of color. He calls them fucking names, calls them horrible fucking names, but they're worried that Joe Biden called the governor of Texas a Neanderthal for wanting everybody to burn their mask and not be safe, even though we're this close to getting this thing beat. He now wants to do away with masks, even though only 7% of the people of Texas have been vaccinated. And their death rate is still going up, and their infection rate is still going up. But yet he wants to throw everything away and open up 100% no mask. Wait fucking 6 weeks. We waited this goddamn long. Put your fucking mask on and wait 6 weeks. And I still ain't letting nobody get in front of fucking me with no goddamn mask on. I don't give a fuck who you are. And I haven't been vaccinated yet. I'm 61. I'm doing a little better now than I was a couple of years ago. But I'm still at risk. So no, you ain't fucking breathing on fucking me. If you ain't got a mask on, get the fuck away from me. And then I wear my mask to protect you. And that's the other thing. We're really not I mean, you wear your mask to protect the other person, because if both of you aren't wearing a mask, your eyes are open. No one's wearing fucking goggles to Kroger. You don't see that many people wearing the face shield. And you get more infection through your eyes than you certainly do your mouth or your nose. Any fucking doctor would tell you that. And I brought this up when the coronavirus first hit. Unless we're wearing fucking airtight goggles, we're still susceptible. So unless we're both wearing a mask, we are really, and the mask that I wore tonight, I don't know if you saw it or not. Did you see the one I opened the show with? Do I still have it?
Hey, one of your commenters, they put he ruined the country. I would say, he just says he ruined our country.
Well, who ruined it? Joe Biden?
He divided our.
No, well, he divided our country. I mean, we were divided before, but it's worse now. But this is heading.
When it comes to division, this is what I think. When it comes to dividing, this is what I believe. I think he's shining light. He's shining light on situations that aren't going to be popular. Being a president, they believe there's some things you should not say. There's, comments, about minorities you shouldn't make. He made those comments. He's going to have to live with those. Right. But divided, I don't think he divided. The country was already on its way to division. There's deeper shit besides politics. You see it in the movie. You see it in movies. I saw it on The Walking Dead.
I'm going to stop you right now. We've always been divided to a degree. I've been around here a long fucking time. 61 years old. I've been a news hound since I was probably 10, maybe sooner, maybe 8 or 9. Always loved the news. Of course, there's way more fucking of it now. There was only 2 or 3 channels when I was a kid. But always been a news hound. I was totally interested in the Iran-Contra hearings, totally interested in Watergate, watched all the trials. Why? You had to. They were on all 3 channels. You didn't have any choice. If you're going to watch something, you're going to watch that. Otherwise, there's nothing else to watch. The country has always been divided, Republican, Democrat. There's always been the differences of opinion. But
that's what I said.
You did, but what you didn't say is that we have never hated each other to the point that we do now. I mean, I see, and social media's got a lot to do with that, because now everybody's got an opinion and everybody can hear their opinion. Who is this guy? Tell him to put some bass in his. Oh man. Oh shit. You know what? I'm going to pause my story. Pesci, he's all yours.
Well, I can understand.
He's defending me, but he just told you to put some bass in your voice. There's nothing wrong with your voice. You sound like Joe Pesci.
Yeah, well, no. All I'm going to say to that is, I understand that the guy's probably a Joe Biden guy.
I've been here 61 years, so I know what you're saying. 42 years on Earth.
All I was saying was he shined light to this division. I also do believe he shouldn't have been president, because if you got that many people against you, then maybe we do need a Joe Biden, somebody that you might not like him, but maybe they're not going to hate him like that. So I said, if Joe Biden meant we could go back to being friends, sports could start coming back around, I'm all for it.
Let me tell you something else. I've thought about this a million times. I don't know if I've ever seen it, if I've ever said it on the show. So I'm going to make sure we say it tonight, and then we'll get ready to wrap this up, because I planned on being here about an hour, and I've been here 2 hours and 35 minutes.
That's what happens when you're
and not one fucking person's donated since you came on the show. But they did good beforehand. I'll give you that. They did good before. But man, they sucked after you got here. You just got to admit that. But here's how it ought to be. You don't get, I mean, LeBron James got to go to the NBA right off the bat, and there's been a couple of baseball players that went straight. But there you are. There we go. You didn't want nobody to donate the whole show, so you did it yourself. I appreciate it.
I can't believe it's just popping up now.
When did you send it?
That's what I told you. Donations are going funny. Like, you're lagging right now, but we're talking to each other fine. Okay. Yeah, but that might just be on my end.
Well, I don't know. What do you mean?
You did fine tonight.
What do you mean, Jenica? Careful guy. She might mean me. She's probably never seen me go off on people like this before. Jenica normally sees the nice me who helps families and donates to people and helps feed families and shit like that. And
I'm on your side though, Kenny. I don't even think of Trump.
She hasn't seen this side of me before. Man, it's awful now. No one should. Well, Michael Free, and I think Freezer said that he has a half black child, or I think that's what he said earlier. Yeah, I have a mixed child. There we go. And Trump didn't do anybody any favors when it comes to that. He didn't do anybody any favors. Every time he badmouths women, they're normally as they say, the darker.
Yeah, a guy that does comments like that shouldn't be a president. That's what I said. I thought he wanted popularity.
But here's what I was going to say. We got to quit having fucking Hollywood actors and fucking game show hosts and people like that go straight from a game show to the fucking White House. What we need is that it should be like baseball. You go single A, double A, triple A majors. You should be, first of all, a mayor, at least, be a mayor. Then once you're mayor, try to be a governor. Once you're a governor, go congressman. Once you're a congressman, go senator. And then when you've done them all four and still don't have people hating your fucking guts and realizing what a piece of shit you are, then maybe you can run for president. Because you can't run for president until you're 35 anyway. AOC's 29 years old. And I know some people disagree with some of her politics, but I tell you what, she stands up for what she believes in. She don't let no fucking man run her over. And when Ted Cruz was hanging out in Cancun, avoiding the cold and the fucking frozen pipes and the busted water lines and no fucking heat, AOC and Beto down in Texas raised over $6 million for Texans while the senator left the fucking state and went to goddamn Cancun and had to be shamed back in. And then he goes to that fucking white nationalist meeting that Trump spoke at not long ago and then makes jokes about him being in Cancun. Oh, Orlando's great. It ain't as nice as Cancun, but Orlando's great. He's just a horrible fucking piece of shit human. And it took AOC from New York to fucking go to Texas and raise money to help those people out. Cruz didn't fucking do shit but fucking blow Trump's cock. That's all he did. And then
you told me that rape thing, and that's unacceptable.
Excuse me?
You were telling me something about he got accused of rape. I didn't know that. Now, that's something I don't think I can really look at.
I don't know how you didn't know that, but yeah, he's been accused 43 times of sexual assault. 12 people still have cases in court, and one of them actually filed rape charges where he raped her in a department store, and she even wrote about it in her book. And according to a couple of porn stars that Trump had to pay off before he got elected, said that she described his penis to a T. These came from the two porn stars. So you can't make up what his fucking dick looks like and then have two porn stars that have seen it know what it looks like. Apparently it has a look to it that's pretty distinguishable. And so, yeah, no, I'm sorry. And that's why I get so deep into fucking Trump supporters' asses over this stupid shit. That if you're going to defend a rapist, a child molester, ignore the fucking tax fraud and bank fraud and all this fucking shit that he's done. You can ignore all that. But when you're fucking violating human beings' rights and violating women, and Kenny. I don't need a courtroom when 43 people have accused you of something. And Pesci, if you've been accused of a horrible thing 43 times, it'd be very hard for me to have you on this show. No, you haven't been proven guilty yet, but there's a lot of people saying it, as a famous comedian once said. Well, you might not be guilty, but there's a lot of people saying it. So I never forgot who said it, but it was funny when I heard it.
No, you're right. And you know what? After hearing that, I probably won't even ever say much about that guy again.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to have these discussions because not everybody knows it or everybody wants to believe it. There are these QAnon believers and these fucking cult followers that just can't hear anything negative about their person. Well, Kenny, what about Biden? Well, if Biden did something, get him too. If fucking Clinton and Trump were on a plane with fucking that fucking rapist that committed, I said his name in here earlier today, that supposedly committed suicide. Fuck them, get them. I mean, I'm not going to support anybody that does any of that shit, whether it's my former best friend, whether it's my brother, whether it's Donald Trump, whether it's Bill Clinton, or if Kamala Harris did something fucking horrible to somebody. I mean, if they did something wrong, get them. Just because they were of someone I voted for or somebody of a party that I affiliate with, which I don't, it don't matter. If you're a rapist, you're a fucking rapist. And you are who you stand by. So if you stand by a rapist, you're no fucking better than the goddamn rapist. And like I said, I could give less than a rat's fuck. I've got about a total of 30,000 followers on all my social media between Twitter, the Facebook pages, Instagram, Google, LinkedIn, all that shit. I got about a combined 30,000. I could wake up with fucking 50 followers tomorrow that are pissed off about what I'm saying. But if you stand by a rapist and if you defend a rapist, then you're no fucking better than that person. You're no fucking better. When you defend them and you cover up for them and you enable them, you're no fucking better than they are.
Yeah, you're right, Ken. Right. You know what? After hearing that, I don't got much to say about the guy anymore.
Well, that's all right. I mean, you're entitled to say what you want, and
but by no means was I ever. If you ask my friends up here, if you go, hey, is that guy a Trump supporter? They'd be like, that guy doesn't even talk about politics. I don't.
Well, he's going to be in courtrooms, I guess, for the next, however long it takes. The state of New York's getting him first. Then Georgia's getting him for trying to buy the election down there. Not so much buy the election, but when he demanded the attorney general or whoever it was down there to find him 11,821 votes. I just need that. Well, that was one more vote than he needed to win. Well, what the fuck was that going to do for him? Even if he won Georgia, he still lost the other 5 states. And then he lost his court case yesterday with Wisconsin, where he tried to overturn that election. He lost Pennsylvania, lost Georgia, lost Michigan. Goddamn. But he wanted to lose by less than Hillary. He lost by the exact same, and he called it a landslide. So what he's doing, even if he could flip one of those states, then he loses by less than Hillary lost by. So he at least wanted that, but he still lost by 7 to 8 million popular votes. When Hillary beat him in the popular vote, she won by 3 million. Well, Biden beat him by somewhere between 7 and 8 million in the popular vote, depending on which number you believe. We'll say 7 million. That's still more than twice of what Hillary beat him by. So I don't get it. I don't know. You're not going to flip all 5 of those states. There might have been one of them he had a shot at, but the votes he was trying to throw out were the votes of black folks. He wanted to throw out the inner city votes. Well, yeah, they mainly vote Democrat. You know, they were bragging that Trump got 10 to 12% of the black vote. Okay, well, there's 90 to 88% you didn't get. Why are you not getting it? Because they don't like what you're fucking doing. And Trump even said, well, black people are stupid. That's why they don't vote for me. He fucking said that. He was fucking recorded saying it. And no one cared. No one, what? No, he wasn't recorded saying it. Michael Cohen said that he said it, and that Michael Cohen may have a recording of it, but he wasn't going to reveal it until they go to court, which he's going to be one of the lead testifiers against Trump in the state of New York, because Cohen knows where all the bodies are buried. And so does that guy that was in charge of that fucking magazine. Hang on.
They had an old mobster on
number one. I just corrected it and said that Michael Cohen said that he said it, along with other people that know that he said it, along with Anthony Scaramucci that knows that he said it. But you come in here trying to fucking talk your shit, and you go just as quick as you came. I said good day. There you go. This former fucking co-host of mine that lasted 2 weeks wanted to come in here and act like he was fucking somebody, so he's gone. So that took care of that. So play the clip. I just corrected myself. No, he wasn't recorded. Well, he might have been, because Michael Cohen records everything. Michael Cohen is the one that recorded him trying to paying off Stormy Daniels. Michael Cohen's the one that had the fucking recording. And but they say that Michael records everything, but Michael says that he's not going to reveal this until they actually go to court, and that he's asked to play it. But so fuck you, bitch. There you go. How much so I can come on here and explain my anger, King? Well, Pesci paid $125, Ricky Freezer, but Pesci paid $125 to do the whole show. And then he donated a few bucks to come on here tonight. He didn't have to. I mean, he donated enough the last time he was on. Make me an offer. Make me. Well, I know. Let's see. Well, okay.
Explain his anger
Well,
about
no,
what? Explain his
he's
anger
gone
about Trump.
anyway. He's gone. He's gone anyway because he was in here defending Trump, and that gets you absolutely fucking nowhere with me. Like I said, 43 people have accused him of sexual assault and rape. 12 kids he paid off. Maya's got the fucking the court documents on her phone that Anonymous released. I don't need any fucking more. Fuck the bank fraud, fuck tax evasion, fuck all that. When you violate women and children, fuck you, and if you defend them, fuck you. There you go. Can't make it much clearer. Well, all right, there's another one getting ready to go. All right, you know, I love how they do that because they know they're gone immediately. It doesn't take. I knew it was a troller the minute I saw Tennis Racket. So, but that's okay. Like I said, I can block them all fucking day. Don't matter to me. Fuck them. Don't matter.
What's your Tennis Racket troll, Jimmy?
Because it takes them a lot longer to form that account to come in here and try to be seen because they're not seen on their own fucking deals. They're embarrassed because nobody wants to associate with them or to be with them. They're little fucking whiny pieces of shit who are married to women who want nothing to do with them. I know who he is. So, yeah, well, I'm sorry, Jenica. You haven't seen this side of me before, but that is what this show is about. And when stupid fucks come in here, they get eliminated in a hurry. Jenica's shocked. She has never seen this side of me. She might not even want my money anymore. She might not want me to help her family. So yeah,
we'll listen to Lawler's podcast with Kenny on it.
The King's a little different deal. Why didn't you? Well, the minute I saw Tennis Racket, I pretty much knew who it was. And no, it's not Cornette. Cornette wouldn't know how to fucking form a fucking account if he shit on it himself.
I met a troll of his.
What's that?
I met a troll of his.
Did you really?
No, I'm saying I was talking about
my Filipino family seeing a side of me tonight they don't normally see. They normally see nice Kenny that donates money. And of course the fans bring up a lot of, you know, I love you, Jenica. Don't worry, honey. Everything's all right. King's just a little riled up tonight. They call me the king you see the crown over there. I'm the king for a reason. And, but no, I'll take on any of these pieces of shit that want to come in here and do that. But see, they're cowards. They come in here under phony names. They won't come on the screen like you do. They won't do that. I've got close friends of mine that want to defend Trump, but they won't come on here. They said, well, Kenny, you're going to eat me alive. I said, you goddamn right I will, because I know what I'm talking about and you don't. You know what you know off Fox fucking News. And you don't know your shit, so you won't come in here and talk. No, you'll embarrass me. Well, you're goddamn right I will, because you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated in what you're talking about. I am educated in what I'm talking about. Play the clip. So, no, I corrected myself immediately. He wasn't, if he was recorded saying it, that black people are stupid. This is the same guy that also said that he didn't want anybody counting his money that wasn't Jewish. He only wanted Jewish people to count his money. He didn't want blacks, Mexicans, or Latinos counting his money. And Michael Cohen said that too. So if Michael Cohen's saying it, he's got something to back it up with. So I forgot to use my account. Okay. Well, you're here now. Best in the world. I am the best in the world at what I do, whatever that is. I am the best in the world at what I do, whatever that is. I agree.
Kenny, I think we do well with each other, though.
I think we do too.
Honestly.
You're still here, right? I mean,
Yeah.
You came on before it was 1 hour, and we're 2 hours and 50 minutes into this. And let's see, Pesci is my doppelganger. This is scary. We got a guy here that says that you two are a lot alike.
You know, it's funny. It's doppelganger. I play a card game, and the card game's called There's a card called Doppelganger.
I know what a doppelganger is. I didn't know it was a card game, though. I didn't know that. Well, buddy, we have been on here pushing 3 hours. So let's see.
Yeah, I just waited on you whenever you want to call it. I will say, I don't know if I told you this.
All right. Well, I didn't scare her away. She says, you're the best king, my dear Kenny. Well, that's very sweet of you. Thank you. Give your family my love. All of them. Your younger sister, who's still working hard at school. She's a sweet little thing. I think she's only 16 or 17, but she's a little sweetheart. Give her my love. Give your mom my love. I know you guys are having some tough times down there right now, and we're going to do what we can for you. I don't think we can do much about your hospital bill because that's a shitload of money, and hopefully somebody in the Philippines will be of some help. Let's see. I hope my donations made it worth it. T-Maker, what did you donate? My memory ain't fucking good. King, I'll send you a side-by-side picture later. Okay, well, that's fine. He's going to send me a side-by-side, and Pesci, I'll send you that side-by-side on your Twitter account. How's that?
Okay.
Any last thing you want to say tonight there, Pesci, before we sign off? And
Yeah.
you'll probably be on here quite a bit. Now, you can't take 30 minutes to get ready from now on.
Well, I had to hook up this damn computer.
You got to be in the bullpen, warming up, ready to go, man. I got when I raise the left hand, I need the left. Are you left-handed too?
I am, for real. I am left-handed.
Yeah, are you really? Yeah,
I got bad handwriting though, but I'm left-handed. Yes.
My handwriting is okay if I focus on it. My handwriting's okay.
You know, Kenny, we're a lot alike. I had this on this morning.
We got the here you go. We got the U going tonight. Got to do the U. Show me the U.
Michael Irvin.
There you go, Michael Irvin. All the
Ray
great.
Lewis. I never cared that Ray Lewis got accused of murder. I still like him.
I did not forget Jenica's favorite. She loves Rowdy Ronda Rousey more than I do. She loves her more than I do.
Now, listen, what I was saying before, though,
I like Sasha Banks. I'm a big Sasha Banks fan.
If you have me on with Vampiro, I'll probably impress you with the conversation I can have with Vampiro.
I told you I'm going to have you on. We're going to give you at least 30 minutes with Vampiro, or however long he can put up with you. And but yeah, I like. Of course, I love all the Asian female wrestlers. I love Asuka. I love Kairi Sane, and Sasha Banks. Those are probably my favorite three.
Sasha's great.
Sasha is great, man. She knows her shit. The niece of Snoop Dogg, right?
Yep. If anything kills.
Did you ever sell Snoop Dogg any weed?
No. He would buy weed much more expensive than the weed I could get.
He's peddling a higher grade than what you're selling, right?
One of his things is he probably searches around the country. A guy like that is like a wine buyer.
He's just not taking what falls off the top of the turnip truck, is he?
No. And that's what I said, man. This is great that you had me. This is great that you had me on here. And Saturday, I'm ready.
I think Jenica's leaving. Here's the ghost. Eat your dinner, King. Good show. Yeah, I haven't had my dinner yet. And well, bye, Jenica. Thank you for dropping in. You watched a lot of the show tonight. I think this is the first time she's ever seen my show. Wait, she's also cool. Well, she is. Hang on here.
Watch our first show we did together. You'll like it much more.
Trish Stratus was the best. I knew Trish. I met her a few times. Great girl, class girl. Love Trish. And there's an old Oldham County buddy of mine. Nice conversation tonight. Yeah, well, was it? Not if you're a Trump supporter. If you're a Trump supporter, it wasn't so nice tonight for a lot of people.
Kenny, I'd let you cut a promo on my mother as long as it was a good promo. That's how you can never say anything that would get me.
Depends on what your mother did, and I promise you it would be good, especially if mom did something bad. I used to cut them on my mom all the time on the television shows. I was always giving my mom shit. My mom managed Jerry Lawler against me in like 2005.
That I did not know. You never talked about that on too many shows.
It was 2007 or 2008 because I just remembered the house I lived in because I had to beg mom to give up bingo to manage Lawler against me. I know Gayla's not a Trump supporter, but Gayla knew my mother very well. And Gayla, I think, is even blown away that my mother managed Jerry the King Lawler, which I never did. I feuded with him a lot, but I never managed Lawler. But my mother managed Jerry Lawler against me, and mom got the victory. I didn't win. If Jerry won, he got 5 minutes in the ring with me. So Jerry beat my wrestler. He got 5 minutes with me, but I won the match with Lawler because he tried to pile drive me, and the referee disqualified him. So I was declared the winner, even though Lawler asked for 5 minutes with me. I won the match. And, of course, I've beaten Cena, Big Show, Mark Henry, Rob Conway.
And your matches were just as real as any match they ever did.
Were just as real as theirs. There you go. You do listen to the shows. Hang on here. Jessica's got something else to say. I forgot to say goodbye to your mother. Well, my mom is on the wall, and she passed away 3 years ago, but you're still welcome to say goodbye to her. We do all the time. And I'm so glad you got to watch the show, Jenica. You're a sweet kid. I love you to death. You're just as sweet as you can be. You work so hard for your family, especially you're helping put your 16-year-old sister through school. You was down at the hospital helping out your mother every day, and you're a good girl, man. I think the world of you, and you know that. And no time for jealousy with all my 14 Filipino girlfriends.
All I know is, Kenny,
I wish I
if
could get a check. I wish I could get a check on each one of them. 1,400 times 14. That's got, I think, 21 grand we figured up, right? Yeah, I don't think they're going to let me clean them, though. Yes, the mom managed Jerry Lawler against me at Kentucky Kingdom. It was either 2000, I think it was 2008, to be honest with you, 2008. So, yeah, recent times. But yeah, we're really glad Jenica got to see the show. They've been dealing with a lot of shit lately, and I'm really glad. And Gayla Hicks said my mother was a wonderful person. Yes, she was. Mom was the best, man. That's why her poster hangs on my wall. It used to be in my bedroom, but nobody gets to see it in there except for the 14 Filipino girlfriends. So we had to move it out here. Now, none of the 14 Filipino girlfriends have got to come here. So but no, I have a lot of dear friends in the Philippines, probably hundreds of good friends and fans down there. And we've helped hundreds of people and hundreds of families over the years. And no, I always have a close affection for the Filipino community. I wish I met more people from the Philippines here, but the ones that know what I do reach out to me from all over the country, and they write me and thank me for what I do for their home folks. Especially my California Filipino friends and fans, and some in Canada. They will write me personally and thank me when they see what we're doing. But hey, I say, you thank me, you got to thank the fans, because they're the ones that donate and make it happen. So without them, I could do a tiny fraction of what I do. So thank everybody for tuning in. Jenica, especially you, being as you got to tune in. And we had Mango Jennifer, who's studying to be able to go to Saudi Arabia. Ice Cream Jennifer, who's probably at work right now. She just peeked in on the show for a little bit. So until Thursday night, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Hell, Pesci might be back here again Thursday for all I know. So Thursday night, we'll be back here, probably open topics again. Hopefully not as much Trump. Hopefully not as many promos on Trump supporters. But hey, whatever y'all want. And so until Thursday night at 7:05 p.m., I did say